Hi, YouTube, it's me, Kareem Samir. Them, Seekers of Galanti, this second wake. I don't know why I started dot-ing it, but here we are at episode 24 of season 2, year 2. Or episode, wow, let's do math, 76. Cool, we can do math. When we last left our heroes, which of course means D&D has started at this point, they had just defeated a Mr. Tuan in his office, shot him to dead with an eldritch bolt boom, to the chest, delivered from a 1 JJ lightning. In kind of reviewing the situation, they realized that their dear friend, or confidant at this point, George Creedy, was not all that they were cracked out to be. Truly who they are is still a bit of a mystery to unravel. With that as well, they began to explore Mr. Tuan's office, finding a locked safe in his desk, a number of expensive beverages and enchanted glasses, including a rather curious, drinky sort of dungeon that individuals can be suckered into and then sequestered until they eventually either succumb to drowning or alcohol poisoning. Both are probably okay at that point. But either way, a really fun little magic item that was collected by the group, the Seekers of Galanti. Using sight beyond sight, because why can't I make Lion-O jokes to Orville? He's rather catty. And using his magic wizard eyes, he peered beyond the veil and could see that there was a false wall behind a levitating, delightful mirror. After going with Kobold Jones behind that, they found a small hallway. Of course, the hallway itself, rather beautiful. Of course, the office. And at the back of the hallway, where they found a small collection of 3 rooms, a large kind of marbleline structure in the middle, a multi-faced kind of sculpture, and on the back of it, a vault door. Thinking the best to begin checking, Kobold Jones, our valiant, noble, and great Koboldian friend, reached for the front door on the left, according to my notes, which gave him a hug as much as he hugged its knob, because when you tug a knob without permission, sometimes the knob tugs back. Fun fact, guys. Consent? Super hot. And with that, of course, it brings us to where we last left off. Orville, you look in abject horror as a large, multi-teethed, this kind of, I hate to be the Mercer of the group, but the open maw of this mimic now surrounds and begins to consume with a crunch your dear friend Kobold Jones. For the sake of fairness, I will roll this attack roll that it gets at advantage and tell you, without a shadow of a doubt, that a 21 versus Kobold Jones does not hit. And thus I need you and Kobold Jones to roll initiative. And for this purpose, I'm just going to roll Kobold Jones' initiative. I assume it's somewhere in the vicinity of a +1, so we'll put it at a 13. Do we say that Kobold Jones trusts Celeste enough with his character? Or is that a nah?
Yes. Yes, we do.
All right. Celeste, for the purposes of this, I will say you may take Kobold Jones's actions in this instance as if you were Kobold Jones. So I need you to get into character for me. Okay, we're going to do a little...
He plays dead the whole time. He never survives. It's over.
No. We gotta make sure we're doing this right. We're going to do the Stanislavski method, which means we're going to method act this, okay?
Oh, okay.
All right. You're a freakish kobold born to dwarves. Nobody likes you, but you got to prove yourself because you've been raised about honor. You wear heavy armor to protect how fragile your actual soul and emotions are. You put on a strong front to friends because you don't want them to know just how deeply you can love them. You have a hard addiction to corn dogs, and yet you've never actually eaten one. All right. You love money. Orville's your brother. Bartholomew's a patsy. Are we there yet? I want to see your gur face. Let's get a gur face on. That's definitely a Kobold Jones gur face. All right. So initiative. What did we get there, Orville?
10.
A 10. The fastest of 10.
10.
All right. Kobold Jones, I believe we have at a 13. And so yes, the surprise round goes off. You see this heavy-looking mimic door fold in on Kobold Jones. You hear a crunching sound, and it attempts to attack him with a pseudopod. A large kind of lash out, a single tooth drives forward and strikes true against the blackened dwarven armor, this dwarven plate mail of Kobold Jones. The mimic seems unable to further advance its consumption of the small kobold. Bring us to Kobold Jones's turn. You are grappled, you are nearly consumed, and as this door folds in on you, you wonder, just where do your bones end up if it eats you? What do you do?
Can I try eating it?
Yes, you can. Of course you can. Go ahead and roll me an attack roll. And I think Kobold Jones has a +4 strength, if I remember right, which will bring him to a +7 to hit, because he is proficient.
+5 strength.
Oh, +5 strength? Oh, you have a sheet. Yeah. You're good then. I need to make an unarmed strike against the door.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
12?
12. Kobold Jones reaches out, bites his fangs.
Oh wait, that was a strength check. My bad. That was not what I wanted. So he gets a plus what to his attack?
Could be 3. Total of 7, 5, 6, 7, 8. Total of 8.
Oh, so it's a +8 to his attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm gonna rock in this chair.
Okay. How's a 10?
A 10 total with a +8?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Well then...
I rolled a 2.
Oh, okay. Okay, I thought you had a 12. My apologies.
Well, I did a strength check, so my bad.
That's good enough. I'll give it... Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing over here.
You're like, I'm pulling levers. I'm pulling levers and screaming. I will say for the purpose of this, yes. A 12 to hit does hit a mimic. You end up biting it. He's not trained in unarmed strikes like Orville is. So he will deal a total of 6 points of damage to this mimic. And the mimic kind of howls out in a bit of pain. You hear this kind of like almost like feral sounding noises that echo out from this mimic as Kobold Jones takes a bite at a crime. Coming up to Orville, your move.
As a fighter, just Jones, you get a second attack?
That's true. He does get a second attack, which would have been the 10.
Okay.
And we'll call it fair. Okay. That seems fair. We rolled twice. We got it.
Yeah.
Absolutely fair.
There we go.
All right. As a free action, can I call out? We got a situation in here.
In that voice, yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
A slick talking, no nonsense Capone Orville calls out to the group, saying you got a situation in here. The group is made aware of such things.
That Orville is going to go about one-upping Jones in the biting of this mimic, and also bite it.
Okay.
So 2 unarmed strikes to start us off.
Okay.
It's a 14 and a 19 on dice.
Both hit. The first one is your bite, right? The second one will be you pick your favorite fist.
Could I lead with a headbutt and then a bite?
You could lead with a headbutt, but you will be unable to bite. You land the headbutt. Your head goes crashing into the side of this door.
We're stuck. Yeah, okay.
Splits and reveals it is still a mimic, and you get stuck with an unearthly adhesive to your forehead. Your head is now stuck. Kobold Jones's mouth is sealed shut the first time in history, and you now cock back a fist to punch a second time. So we'll say your left hand is also now stuck against this mimic. You are grappled, but you deal damage for both attacks.
It's going to be 13 total across the 2 attacks.
13 total. We'll take the total amount. Brings it to 20 damage that's taken so far. We hear out from the antechamber for the group. You all hear this call that we got a situation in here. We'll start at the top. JJ. Starting top left on what I can see on the screen. JJ, you hear Orville call out, you got a situation here, but he doesn't sound very fluxed. He doesn't sound like he's in danger. He kind of is putting on a hokey accent like he's a Vegas boy. He might just be setting up a trap or a prank. We don't know. What does JJ do?
If I remember correctly, JJ's just going through the desk.
Yep.
She will walk over to where she saw Orville and Kobold disappear through and just kind of look in. She'll peek her head in.
You peek your head in. You see at this point, the door is trying to eat Kobold Jones. Kobold Jones is trying to eat the door. Orville's head is stuck to the back of the mimic, this door. And also a fist is halfway up the doors. You think rectum, but do doors have rectums? I'm not sure. His hinges? I don't know. Who knows? But it looks like if you played Katamari Damacy, that's kind of where we're at. We're just rolling a big old ball made of party members right now.
Great. She's going to whip her head back in really fast, say, "Mimic!" And then all I have left, to be honest, is I'll throw 2 Eldritch Blasts.
Well, you'll roll initiative. The important
let
part
me
is if you want to
roll
get involved or
initiative.
not.
Yeah.
Velithil, are you hear this? You see JJ begin to try to describe what's going on in this room. And you see her like preparing a spell at this point. What do you want to do?
So Vel was like trying to help drunk Celeste like lay down comfortably at this point, and it's just kind of gonna pop up and like, he was mimicking what? And just kind of head over there as JJ's getting her shit started.
Okay. Let's see here. Morgan, you hear the. Please go ahead and roll initiative, Vel. Morgan, what do we have here? What is your reaction to this?
I'm going to yell out, "Be there in a second," and I'm going to try to think about if I know what this combination is for this safe.
Ooh, okay. You can also roll initiative, but we're not going to be involved in combat. This will be a different thing.
Okay.
And Celeste, finally. All right, now we got to get back in Celeste mode. Okay, we're going to take away everything we built for Kobold Jones. We'll get back to Celeste. All right. Ponies, unicorns,
Gnomes.
cute things. Gnomes specifically. Having wings, being a paladin, destroying chocolate bunnies, flexing on evil. We there? I think we're there. Okay.
I'm going to open the closest bottle of whiskey and just say, "Well, Mr. Sparkles, do you want any? I think this is the good kind. Do you want some?"
You're summoning your horse?
Yeah.
you hear a small kind of ethereal jaunt, and this horse just miraculously appears because the spell says it appears. Regardless of if you're in a Demi-Lich's tower or wherever you might be, it just shows up. So the small pony comes walking into the room and looks at you and goes, "Yeah, I could use a swig."
Okay. She's going to slowly start pouring some for him.
All right.
His little mouth.
You and your pony drink whiskey together in this instance. It's a good reaction of your
Celeste doesn't. Me and Celeste don't know about mimics, so
It's fine. You hear JJ yell mimic, and you're like, I had no idea. Top of the round, the mimic will attempt to attack Orville this time. Big old swing. Orville, how does a 16 feel about getting hit?
I would
That's just a little short.
Oh. JJ was starting off, but then she said nah, though. All right. Just a little short. We'll miss the attack. What do we have for your initiative, JJ?
13.
13. We will put you before Kobold Jones, but after the mimic. Vel, what do we have for your initiative?
11.
11. That'll put you after Jones, but before Orville. And Morgan, what do we have?
17.
17. That'll put you well ahead of the pack, but after the mimic. All right, so the mimic attempts an attack against Orville, but to no avail. It seems to struggle, twist, and cause itself a number of painful things. Morgan, you sit there, you look at this desk safe, and you begin to almost delve into your mind palace, we're going to say. Because if I'm going to steal things from Brennan Lee Mulligan, I'm definitely stealing the term mind palace, because it's like, literature, architecture, what sound a duck makes, it's all there. So you begin to delve into your mind palace. I need you to make me an intelligence check. Not a saving throw, a check.
It's a nat 20.
Nat 20. You feel for a moment, and you feel something strike deep within the like rooted causes of your own mind. You begin to think about what things you don't know, but you feel like you should know. You begin to kind of delve deeper and deeper into your mind, and you come to effectively memories that you know are innately not your own, and you can identify that, but you have this feeling that they are yours. Again, your passenger, as we will say, kind of speaks into your mind and goes, "Another one has joined us. And what is to be done with this one? Shall we reforge ourselves anew? Meld with it as we did the first? Or perhaps it be not but fuel for the grand design?"
I think we meld with it.
Okay.
Let it join us.
You hear this kind of like nodding, there's almost like inner self-agreement at this point. You hear, "Perhaps you are the wiser of the two of us. There could be many things to gain from this." From that, I need you to roll me a charisma saving throw. The thing that we are most renowned for. I love having a combat with skill challenges in it while someone's having inner turmoil and fighting with their own demons. You know, we like to have multi-layered D&D. Please tell me it's a 1.
It's another nat 20.
This is bullcrap. I call bullcrap and I hate your dice.
I did 1 on the D&D Beyond and I was like, shit, I want to use my dice. And I just rolled it and got a 20.
You take a picture of that D20 and you send it to group chat.
I'm sending it right now.
Yeah, D&D Beyond, I get the little pop-ups whenever anyone rolls. So I'm like, oh shit, okay. But that's great. Fantastic. Okay, so with a 20, you feel your passenger begin to merge and meld and release this kind of innate nutrition it had already kind of consumed. You had visions that have been blanked out, but now the memory fractures and returns to a singular point. You reach your dagger to TT's throat. You begin to thrust forward, and throughout the tips of your fingernails, you can see crimson pieces of mercury ebb and weave out from your fingers, enrapturing your dagger in this rather unsavory looking kind of design. It drills deep into his throat, and you see it spread across his skin like a plague, almost a horrifying rash, before slowly he is consumed by this mercurial type of individual that you find currently cohabitating with. Your balance, we shall say. In this moment, with this memory unlocked, you begin to feel a flood of memories seeming to threaten to overwhelm you. Visions of a down-on-their-luck gnomish individual who truly was born of the streets with not much more than a few coppers in their purse and dreamed of greater and greater things. You see a flash of a lifetime of instances within you. And you feel a number of shifts and changes as parts of these begin to overlap with your own mind, threatening at a time for you to lose yourself in the identity of this other individual. You have vivid recollections of horrible memories. The first time your nose was broken. The first time you've ever been thrown out of a bar. That time that the orc bully at school threw your lunch far, far away. All of these drastic memories. The first time you were unable to perform for one of your partners. It's just truly a downtrodden and embarrassing time for a lot of dark, deep memories. But then there's good. The fortunes you found, the company you started, the land you negotiated with a strange purple-skinned tiefling, and conning a number of individuals out of their land itself. The stacks of deeds, currency, fortunes, and riches you have amassed in your lifetime. And as you focus for a moment, you see it. 13, 11, 22. The combination to your desk safe, of course. That is your turn at this point. Jones's turn. Mouth stuck to mimic. We're back at it again. We're back at it. We did a big deep dive, nice imagery all going through here, but this kobold's gonna die. What does he do? I love the analysis paralysis from Celeste. Mouth is stuck, or one hand is free because he touched the door. So he's got a hand stuck, a mouth stuck, one hand free to use a weapon if he wants to. Could kick it.
if I were to use a weapon at this point, what is the likelihood of Jones hitting Orville and hurting Orville?
Orville's on the butt end of this. If this thing had a butt, he'd be at the butt. Effectively, to not be too crude about it, Orville and Kobold Jones are Eiffel Towering the Mimic right now, in a weird sense. But they're all stuck together because nobody really, like, limbered up first. So everyone's kind of just sticky, and no one really bothered to, like, take a shower first. So it's just really gross. So, yeah.
Well, if Jones gets through this thing and also hits me, I'm pretty okay with that.
Yeah, little to no chance he'll hit Orville, but it may be, sure. If you roll a nat 1, I'll make you roll again. And if you get another nat 1, we'll decapitate Orville for free. No further rolls required.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, that seems fair, right?
Yeah, okay, I'm going to try to hit him. I mean, not him. You know what I mean. Not...
We don't want to gender the Mimic, but okay. I think I already did that.
I'm open to the 1 in 400. Like, I'm very open to that.
Yeah, 1 in 400,
like
let's
odds.
go. Rock and roll it.
25.
25 hits. He brandishes his magical axe, brings it forward, and strikes true. Go ahead and roll damage.
Twelve.
12 points of damage. Strike through into the Mimic. You feel a heft, a weight, a pull against the axe as Kobold Jones attempts to take a second strike and comes back open-handed, his axe now stuck fully in the Mimic. He has a second attack. Do you have another weapon he would like to use?
Can I... can I use Draconic Cry? I don't know what that...
Yeah, that's fine. So Kobold Jones, for the first time, maybe ever, begins a soft, whimpering dragon cry, which normally would be this cool, boisterous, like, ha, I'm a dragon. But since his mouth is stuck shut, it's more of like a... It's like every cat that's lost a lot of weight and is getting onward in years and just starts doing that weak crying because it can't fully open its mouth to purr or do any of the fun cat things anymore. He does one of those. But that gives him advantage on his attacks, and all his allies within 10 feet of the enemy also gain advantage on their attacks until the start of his next turn. Or sorry, till the end of his next turn.
To take this really strong character and be like, nah, not today.
Not today, Satan! Do you want to take his second attack, or do you want to move on with his turn? Call it a day. Researching.
Oh, I thought that... Oh, I don't know why I thought that was an action.
Bonus action.
No okay, cool.
Pretty broken.
Why I play a wizard? Pretty good. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Tough run creature within 30 feet of you as a bonus action. This is sure. I don't think he has any other weapons, so I guess I'm just gonna try punching it again.
That's fine with me. Roll the hit. Yeah. Feverish. Horrifying.
15.
15. Another punch strikes true. You deal 7 damage with an unarmed strike to the monster, viciously. Another heavy blow. The creature begins to kind of recoil in fear a bit over these aggressive attacks. That is going to be Jones's turn. Now we go into JJ. I actually put Jones ahead of JJ. My apologies. JJ.
Oh, it's fine.
You're wailing inside.
Yep, JJ will step on in and attempt to Eldritch Blast the door.
All right. You see the door now kind of like bending and twisting in different ways. There's acidic blood that seems to be leaking out from various pores of its almost strange and kind of deforming form at this point, to say it the easiest way. Words are hard sometimes, y'all. It is falling apart. There we go. That is what we're looking for. Deteriorating form. There it is. We found it. Got it in 2.
There you go.
Fix it in post.
Let's see. We have a 17 and a 23.
Both will hit.
There we go. Nice.
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 That's 4 on the first one
Okay.
and 2 on the second one for me, please.
All right, 4 on the first one. And
Bless
2 on the
you?
second. Oh no, I'm coughing.
Oh, okay.
Your boy trying to
cough
swallow.
you?
Yeah, trying not to swallow gum. That's all my fault. All right, 2 shots. Boom, boom. You see 2 heavy strikes into the side of what appears to be at one point maybe was a door. If you squint your eyes and you kind of look at it at the edge of the paper, it maybe once was a door, but now it's just kind of this amorphous blob that has fully lost the brown pigment in its flesh and is slowly just morphing into its true shapeshiftery form. At that point, Vel, you are standing outside, heading towards this portal. You see JJ half in this illusionary wall, firing off, and you hear her casting her Eldritch Blast, which I assume is kind of country, so Eldritch Blast. Pow, pow.
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast.
Oh, and I'll like just bolt straight through the illusion.
Go right through it. You see a room that has a large vault at the end of the hallway, a marbled pedestal in the center, and 2 other doors on either side. A kobold, a door, and a goblin, all conjoined in a ball of vicious-looking pain and acid.
Jones, what did I say about putting things in your mouth?
No! That's
And then I will ring a bell at this thing and cast Toll the Dead.
Needs
Or a
what
wisdom
save?
save?
Wisdom save. It's a pretty wise mimic, I'd say. It has a plus. That's a start. We get a 9. It's pretty high.
That's a failure.
It's pretty high. Thank goodness it's at 4 hit points. Nope.
Points
no,
of
it's not.
necrotic damage.
14 points of necrotic damage. All right. Here. With that, you hear doom. The shape kind of ripples out in various feelings. You see it twist and turn, and you start hearing this kind of bubbling cauldron sound and this hissing of acid as slowly it begins to fold in on itself and slumps down with a small little kind of like oozy pellet, and then burns away into mostly like what appeared to be wood chips and small fragments of real things, but it has kind of collected into itself over time. The mimic shudders and releases Kobold Jones and Orville. Combat is effectively over.
We did it. We didn't die. Yay!
That is our battle cry, yes.
That is a good one. Maybe that's what we should brand ourselves. Not today.
Not today.
Montserrat.
Oh. It's always Montserrat.
So, it looks kind of dangerous. Maybe we take a little rest?
No, I mean, it was fine. It was fine. We had it.
Jones, I know you had it. And I'm glad no one's dead again. But Celeste is... Pokes head back through. Don't drink more!
What do you think, Mr. Sparkles? Yeah, it's good.
Hey, yeah, I think it's pretty good.
This playing 2 characters thing is getting a little old real quick. Changing between.
For the purposes of this, we will say Kobold Jones, while valiant and noble, taking his 1 hit point and 22 armor, slowly walks through the illusionary wall and says, "I'm just gonna nap on the sofa in the lounge. I'm gonna take a nap." We'll say that. We'll say he has been grievously injured, but not. He's taking a rest because he wants to, not because he's injured. Okay. He's not like a wimp or a bitch. He wouldn't take a.
Yeah, he's a dwarf, man.
It's his time for his usual afternoon nap.
Yeah, it's actually he finds the one shockingly sunlit and warmed area, and he like rolls up in a ball. Does the cat thing again. We're just doing cat references for Kobold Jones today.
Chunkini is trying to scoot him over to get the better spot
Oh no!
in the sunlight.
If Chunkini scoots over, you just die. Like that's how that goes. That's the centrifugal force alone just crushes most bones. But yes, you all find this. You've all now seen or peered into, except for Celeste, who has been drinking with her pony friend, her small, you might say like her little pony, non-trademarked. But yeah. Cobalt Jones will go and rest. Orville, you stand in this hallway now. A multi-faced pillar of marble in the center, 2 doors to your left and right, and a large vault door on the far end of the wall.
Yeah, I don't trust none of this. I'm gonna go nap under Jonesy's couch or chair or whatever.
You walk over to where Jonesy's couch is and you crawl underneath it like a spider. Like, I'm gonna take a nap real quick.
The door tried to eat me. There are 3 other doors, a pillar, and a big vault. They're all gonna try and eat me too. I ain't touching none of them. That's
crazy.
my mind made up.
That's nuts. So we'll cut to Celeste is drinking. JJ and Vel, you watch the dynamic duo head off to the couch and immediately collapse on top of each other and pass out for a, I'm assuming, short rest, but maybe long rest, who knows. What would the 2 of you like to do?
Also take a rest for JJ, but she's gonna doodle along on her DOS and do a little song of rest so you can have a little extra boosty boost.
Okay. And Vel?
Yeah. Little respite sounds good.
All right. Morgan, you've dove into your memories as people are kind of setting up for a short rest. We know you don't need it. We know you don't get hurt, okay? Just too cool for school. You're just too cool for school and sunglasses, I understand. But you now have this connection.
Fault is that?
What?
Whose fault is that?
Game design, mostly. Rogues are bullshit. They're like, how do you challenge a rogue? Put cool traps and things. But then I have a Kobold Jones that just opens them without checking for traps, so it's way simpler for you. With this, you connected into and you begin to feel this kind of like shift in weight. This body chemistry begins to shift and move. You feel almost like a semblance of a small, thin, like even. It's hard to describe. It's a small bit of that same kind of fragment of divinity that everyone has experienced, but it's much smaller. It is a feeling of potential that is born within your soul itself. You get the feeling that as whatever TT was begins to slowly move through your bloodstream, your genetic code being rewritten now to kind of take on a number of qualities that the gnome once had. You feel a bit of growth over each eye. You can feel your eyebrows becoming more defined, a bit more sharp and pointed, and the growth of the hair now extends a little bit off the sides of either one of your eyes, taking on those kind of drooping gnomish eyebrows that they're very well known for throughout some of the lands. You feel a number of the colors of your hair has a much more rich and almost fey-like appearance already from your elven heritage, but now almost amplified further still. From this, you hear a voice, again, from your passenger, kind of ripple into your mind. You hear, "This one is now what we all are. We will share in all things, and the information that has been divulged is rather interesting. A mage by trade, but not enough left of the life to take it on completely. To what do we take from him? His experience? His heritage? Or perhaps something within him he knew not, even to himself?"
Sorry. Celestia's just freaking out right now.
Celeste's reaction is the best thing.
If you could become a little gnome!
I play this game for the Celeste-isms. That's all I do. I just play for the Celeste-isms. If I pop Celeste, I know I'm doing a good job as a DM, y'all. like 1-to-1. There's no like
Every time! Every time!
But yes, you hear this kind of question linger in your mind.
Do you know what it was that was inside him?
We have yet to explore this. We have yet to delve into it. The flicker of life that we procured is still fledgling. Nothing more than a mote. To utilize any of this energy would be to lock away the other potentials for this union.
Hmm. I think what do you think would be the best choice for us?
There's a true, like, weird, almost out of body feeling, as if this thing that has been kind of like almost not even inches, like centimeters below the surface of your mind, this other entity that has adapted itself to your insides, to your body, trying to think in a way that would benefit both you and it in this kind of very much like host aspect, trying to keep the host alive as often as possible. Having now been asked for like an original thought, you feel almost a weirdness. There's this still very primal, young, unknowable voice that seems to begin to speak in soft mutters and hushed whispers. You hear a voice of a proud, warrior-class woman begin to voice her objections, and then you actually do begin to hear a bit of a gnomish voice in your mind, laughing and chuckling, as if slowly those memories are being folded in on a singular entity, and a personality is being forged from all that has been consumed thus far. Your passenger remarks and goes, "Well, I do think that perhaps we might want to consider taking on his experience should we want more access to the magical acuity that he had. But his heritage could prove useful. I've heard tell that a number of gnomish individuals have rather useful traits. But of course there is something deep, deep within this one, and perhaps we'll find it together. It could be interesting, but there is a number of fears in the unknown."
You're quite right. I think that he did have interesting magic, but so do I.
Indeed.
I've only met 2 gnomes so far, so I'm not really sure what's useful and what's not about them. Let's find out what he had that he didn't know about.
Oh, but potential, of course. A wise choice to delve deeper than that which is at surface level. Let's see what we find. You feel a pull, a pulse. Your heart rate skyrockets and stops. Your breath goes heavy and then cuts your lungs as you begin to feel things move and kind of morph within you. For those of you around Morgan, as you guys are setting up for what appears to be a short rest, you begin to look, and you can see her at this point having stood completely and eerily still for several minutes, even during the mimic fight, has just kind of been sitting there, her hand outstretched to the top of the dial to this safe on the desk. As you guys are kind of moving forward, you kind of look over and you see she begins to twitch, her head kind of unnervingly so. You hear a crack and a break, and something within her begins to shift around. You can see small kind of exposed veins for the few parts of her skin that are exposed. She's very well armored, heavy clothes, but you can see on the sides of her neck a pulse of her veins, kind of like throbbing and thrusting some type of unknowable thing, as if her very body itself is being reconfigured in a sense. I need you to roll me a D100, Morgan.
A D100?
A D100. I'm going to keep it 100 with you.
It's going to be a 19.
Going to be a 19. All right. With a 19 on a D100, we rolled low as heck. Good for you. All right. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Sure. So, deep within the very soul and feeling of this individual, you feel something innate, something that was unique to TT himself. You begin to feel and push, and you almost understand, in a way, an ability further than yourself to truly understand and read people, beyond even compare to others. You gain the following 2 boons, unfortunately, for rolling a 19. You gain proficiency in persuasion. If you already have proficiency in persuasion, you instead gain expertise. Additionally, you gain the following trait that was unique to TT. You gain the silver-tongued trait. Anytime you make a deception or persuasion check, individuals with insight roll at disadvantage to discern truth from your words.
Hell yeah, I'll take that.
You feel a twist and a twinge and a feeling of this. You all watch as Morgan shudders a little bit. And as she looks around, her eyes seem not quite right. They're still the same as they've always been, but there's something, a glimmer deeper within this. Morgan, you have a history of almost a several 100-year life now, deep within your mind, that flashes at moments, twitches and feelings. Thankfully for your nat 20, there doesn't seem to be any ill effects, but you do begin to feel this gnawing at the back of your mind as various voices scream out for help, yet are silenced by a warm, friendly voice that assures you that you and it are in it forever together.
Morgan, feeling alright over there? You're standing very still, and I think I heard you snap your neck a little bit. Are you sore?
Am I still, like, standing still, like, zoned out?
You hear Vel's voice, and you blink, and you can hear this kind of reassurance. And then your senses kind of return to you. You lose that kind of hyperfixation focus, and you return to kind of the material world as you look around to your friends, and you see you're still in the office. You're still where you were. The only difference is, as you look down, you see the safe has already been dialed into its first number.
I think I'm quite okay, Vel, thank you. And I'll open the safe.
Sure. You turn. You hear a click. You pull the small handle on the safe and it creaks open. You look inside and you see a very heavy-looking kind of coin box, almost like what you'd see at a small teller station. It is ornate and wooden. and wrapped in these heavy-looking kind of like strange paper notes. There is a flash in your head, and you remember you had put a trap in this box to prevent anyone other than the rightful owner of it opening it. But as you reach inside and pull it out, you can see this heavy-looking, ornate box. You all look at it, it's probably about the size of like a multi-part like lunchbox, like almost like a Japanese-style lunchbox that has several moving parts you can tell, but is currently sealed and wrapped in these kind of strange-looking paper seals that have various gnomish writing across them.
Am I able to figure out how to disarm the trap?
Give me a charisma check. You can search inside of yourself for the answer, since this is a trap you technically put.
That is a dirty 20.
A dirty 20. You think it over, and you know there is a way to open this. Specifically, your dear friend Oswald, far to the east, enchanted this box with a killing curse that would destroy anyone who opened it without your say-so. There are a number of ways to trigger a trap, provided someone is willing to give their life to do so, but otherwise, you know that the plan was always, should you need what was inside this box, to have your dear friend Oswald unlock it for you. The magic contained for its seals are powerful and very much life-threatening, even to a very powerful mage such as yourself, a premier illusionist of your class.
Okay. Am I able to safely tuck it into my bag?
Yeah, I mean, it won't fit in a bag. I mean, this thing is like, think like...
You said it was a drawer safe, so...
The drawer safe, though, is deep. Like, maybe I just have a big desk, but I could legitimately fit a safe in my desk drawer. That's why. Like, we're talking the deep ones that run to the floor almost. So you pull this thing out, and it's like a big rectangle. It's tall. It kind of reminds like there's a word for it, but you in Japan you break the pieces out, and each one is a dish that you hand out to people.
A bento box?
Like a bento box. It's kind of the same kind of tall stacking bento box, but with talisman parchment sealing it together.
Okay.
Vel, JJ, Celeste, you all see this heavy-looking box that, again, Morgan reaches down into the safe and pulls this thing out, and it slides in down to, like, the centimeter for this desk was, like, precisely made to house this, whatever this block box is. Private safe, if you will.
Hey, Morgan, the stuff around here is kind of dangerous. We're gonna take a little rest before we poke into too many others. Jones and Orville almost got eaten by a... Was it a cabinet? Had wood in it, I think.
A door, it looked like, when I stuck my head in there.
I'm gonna take a little rest before we poke around. Good job finding that.
You want some whiskey? I got you.
Oh my god,
Absolutely.
Celeste, please.
As Celeste asks, you see there's a very drunk pony stumbling around at her side.
When did the pony get here?
What? He's always here. You didn't see him? He basically... He killed TT. All by himself.
Must have been in my own mind.
That happens. I got trapped in a bottle earlier. Vel saved me.
You got trapped in a bottle? Are you a genie now?
Oh my god. Can I grant wishes? Hold on, let's try. Wish for something. But don't ask for more wishes. I heard you can't do that. So don't ask for more wishes. Ask for something else more realistic.
I wish for a chocolate bunny.
Celeste, make me a charisma saving throw.
$16.
You throw up on yourself because you've drank so much whiskey in the last 10 minutes, and you floated in a sea of whiskey, and you just can't hold it any longer. And as she goes, I wish for a chocolate bunny, you think of the melting aroma of chocolate, it pouring over your face as you smite it into pieces, and that texture creamy and all onto the floor in front of you. Piles of whiskey mixed in with whatever you had for breakfast.
Magical.
Well, not quite a genie, but okay. I'm gonna go grab a sip of whiskey and then start my rest
All right.
and set the box down on the desk.
You set it down, it sits down with like heft. It is while you're lifting it, it doesn't feel like it's very heavy, but sitting it down, it makes a sizable noise. Yeah, if you guys want, you guys can all take a short rest at this point. Go ahead and roll your hit dice. Anything you might need. Song of Rest is how much, JJ?
1d6, but I did want to ask you really quick, because it just says each of those creatures regains one extra 1d6 hit points. Do they roll it, or should I roll it for everybody?
I always say you roll it, and then you apply that result to everybody. So, could be bad, could be different, but you're the one making the song, so feels more fair that way.
Everyone can add 5.
Okay, so as long as you spend 1 hit dice to recover hit points, your first hit dice also recovers an additional 5 hit points. So, I'm sure Cobalt Jones is going to lay in a coma for a second, and everyone else can heal up as needed. Nothing quite like, to our dear audience, letting your player think for just a minute might be a genie. That's DM 101, guys. Never say no. Just say, yeah, and we'll figure it out. Totally a drunk little genie. I'm down, 100%. You came out of a bottle, makes sense. All the math lines up. It's full Charlie, Pepe Sylvia! Got hundreds of Pepe. Too funny. Let me know when you guys are ready to proceed, and let me know what you're doing. You're in an office. No one's really coming for you at this point. Any of the guards are dead. You do note that Georgie kind of is curiously looking around the room, still having a little bit of an out-of-body type feeling, but has taken to sitting in a lounge chair near the kind of small smoking area, where you note there are cigars and things of that sort to kind of peruse upon.
Does anyone want to check on Georgie with me? It's gonna be honest. I think they're a little out of sorts, for sure.
Yeah, he's probably confused, disoriented from... Did he say he remembered being younger? How long has he been under enchantment?
That's what I'm kind of confused by. That's a long enchantment.
Sure, let's check on him.
Yeah. All right. And JJ will walk on over to Georgie.
Mm-hmm.
Hey there, Georgie. Or if that you prefer a different name, we just wanted to check in with you, see how you're feeling, how you're doing. Seems like I broke a pretty long-standing enchantment there.
There's this, like, almost narrowing of eyes from Georgie. They're kind of salt and pepper, almost like this beautiful skunk design of, like, slicked back hair now poofed out, almost looking like a conductor for a great opera at this point. Their clothes are disheveled. They have blood on them from the people they've beaten to death at this point. And they kind of, like, look to you and look to Velithil. You hear, got a bit of confusion. There we go. Yeah, I'm a lot taller than I once was. It's coming back to me, but it's spotty. I don't remember much yet, but I remember working here. I remember a number of unsavory-like things I done at the request of this little fella, Mr. Twan. I met this man when I was working a part-time job a while back. Real odd, this one. Real odd. Thank you, I think. I'm not sure where or when. What year is it? You happen to know?
Out of character. What year is it, Dan?
It is 1057.
Correct? Yeah, you let him know it's 10:57. You see, kind of thinks it over and puts a hand to his chin and goes, 10:57. The better part of 20 some odd years I can't account for then.
Oh, Georgie, I'm so sorry.
About what?
I guess not making your own life for the last 20 years or so?
Did you do it?
No.
Then we're okay. I think justice has been served a little bit. Just a touch.
Just a smidge.
Mm.
I think you said your last name was Creedy, right?
That's right.
I think we actually ran into some Creedykin at one point down south.
Pretty can are all over. A number of folks use it as a name. Often is the, well, name for little bastards and broken things who ain't got a home themselves. I worship a number of, well, interesting individuals who I call, well, the progenitor, I guess, at this point.
Has JJ heard of someone called the progenitor with an orcish lore?
I don't think JJ has orc friends.
No, I don't think so either.
And Vel's an elf. So definitely not.
I wasn't even gonna ask.
I will say, though, you can roll me history for being a bard, shockingly enough.
That would be 18 on the roll.
18. While you have never had an open conversation with a member of the Orcish heritage or any of their kind of ways, you've not visited the eastern areas of Moloch Jin and the various other cities of the Orcish people, you do very much remember the term progenitor as it relates to orcs. You reach into your backpack and you dig through the various items you brought with you, and you pull out a small pamphlet for your deck builder for your collected conquest. And one of the options was the progenitor, which is this large-looking, intimidating orcish fellow who's listed as just the progenitor, really. But you have the picture, at least. It's painted.
Oh, is this the progenitor? I'm sorry, I don't know quite too much about any lore or history concerning them, but I've seen their name referenced here, and I think some of these decks take from various cultures and whatnot.
Mm. Yeah, I know. That's about the long and short of them. Some big shot from history long ago. They say every orc can trace their heritage back to the progenitor. My mother, my grandmother, my grandmother's mother, all served in reverence and offerings to the progenitor. It's the way we live. Never was one to trust the weavers in the realm that they said they made. Too many things don't really add up when you put it all together.
I'd love to pick your brain about that at some point, but I think you deserve some rest. Now, I think we do want to see if you've got any plans, or if you've got somewhere to go, or, if you are particularly, or if you could remember, running this place for better or worse, and like the ins and outs of it.
Well, my brain is holier than Swiss cheese right now. I can remember stealing kisses under the bleachers just a week ago. My first kiss. I truly don't know too much about this place. I remember being angry. I could feel strength. But I would need some time to see what I can remember from the time I couldn't make my own choices. If you'd be so kind.
Of course.
I do owe
Go.
you, however. You see George walk over and pick up this broken, now kind of like dispelled and shattered fan, and takes it in both hands and rips it in half, and still manages to split it in half, which even for being disenchanted at this point and its ability and effect reduced, it still is a feat to destroy or sunder a magic item. They walk back to you both and hand half of it towards you. Goes, "Let this serve as a bond between me and you. Half of the shackle that kept me wherever I was. You keep this, and it's proof that you and I, and your little group, were square. And I owe you a favor I can truly never repay."
If you find that the correct way to handle the situation, then it would be rude of me to deny you that.
Very well then. Who would like to take the other half of this fan? It's literally half of a folding fan.
JJ will take it since it was handed to her. So,
All right,
if everyone's
ahead.
cool with that.
Yeah, you freed him.
All right. With that, George kind of sets off towards one of the longer kind of couches and plops right down like across from where Coble Jones is and just kind of stares up the ceiling, and there seems to be just so much processing for memories that they've not lived. And unlike Morgan that has this kind of way to facilitate these things, this is truly somebody remembering 20 years of memories they don't remember living. So it's just a very strange instance for them.
Their lives did TT ruin.
Concern is how many other folks, you know. I have a feeling that we need to check on the rest of the staff. But,
If the spells even ended for them.
yeah. Well, do we want to round folks up and maybe take a little closer look at what we've got? Maybe Morgan wants to take a look at that box that she found.
Certainly, I was going to continue identifying some of the items around here. This room, almost everything that's left behind of TT's. There's a lot of arcane auras here. And that's not even speaking of the next room over.
Yeah. Hopefully not every door is a mimic. One could only hope.
Spoilers. I'm kidding. So I made it all the floorboards next. No, I'm kidding.
The ceiling!
Seal! This is an open top room the whole time. It's a mimic. Okay. Up to y'all what you'd like to do. You all complete your short rest. Orville, Celeste, Morgan. Anything you guys would like to do to explore the office, or concerns you'd like to voice?
While they're out talking to Georgie, are they in a different room when they're talking to Georgie? I'm sorry.
It's just here in the same exact common room.
Okay. I'm just gonna walk Sparkles over to the door, the fake door.
Mhm.
Look, do you think you could make it through there? You go through. Let me know what's on the other side.
Yeah, I ain't afraid no fucking door.
No.
I got the fucking, we got it.
You are fierce. Go in there.
I got it.
And you
What do you
see
see?
a stumble to the left and a stumble to the right, and this small pony wanders into this hidden room. You hear your telekinesis going off, and you see,
That's weird. I don't like the way the floor's moving. Whoa,
The
God.
floor's moving?
Floor's moving. The doors
No.
are turning. Oh, the
Which
walls
way?
are closing in on me.
They're
You
closing
hear-
it on you.
I feel it all around me and my bones.
No! I'm gonna charge in
bones.
after him.
you charge in after him, and you look, and this little pony is on its back in front of the vault door, and it's currently kicking up into the air. And you see it like you walk in, and it sees your boots, and it starts like feverishly going on. It goes,
There's some kind of giant in here. Save me, guy.
Oh my
jeez.
god! And I'm just gonna start swapping the air and just scoop him up. Are you okay?
you swap over the air in front of him, and you hear a voice echo out, and it goes to you and says, "Well now, top of the morning to you, Mr. TT." The horse, or the small pony, rolls over and goes,
Oh, it's just you. Oh, man, I was whizzing out super hard. What's your face like that for?
Did you hear that?
Hear
A little
what?
Irish person said top of the morning to us.
A little what person? I'll fight him. I'll fight every leprechaun I find. They're pieces of garbage. Every
Leprechaun?
single one of them. Yeah. Lousy,
What's a
no good
leprechaun?
fae. What?
What's a leprechaun?
It's a fae.
Whoa.
The god things. Ugh. Ugh.
Do you see?
And you see your pony throw up a rainbow, a literal rainbow, and then finishes coughing it, and there's just whiskey on the ground.
Ooh, somebody made a mess, not us.
Yeah.
Step 2 feet away from it. We don't want to
Yes.
look suspicious.
Let's walk away. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And slowly you hear like clip clops behind you.
I'm going to just start waving my hand around to see if I can find where this little person came from.
You wave your hand across the room, and again you wave your hand in front of the vault door, and there's a moment, and you see something in the air kind of twists and tinges a little bit. I need you to roll me a perception check, since you are actively looking to see if you find anything.
$19.
19. As you wave your hand in front of the door, you see the vault door itself twist a little bit, and you can see small bits of it very, very tinily move, and the metal doesn't seem quite right. If you didn't know any better, you'd think the door itself is breathing.
Sparkles.
What do you want?
I think
Sparkles
we're
has-
trashed. This door is breathing.
Sparkles takes a dump, and they look like cupcakes, and they turn into shits.
Why is everything you do so cute?
I'm a fae.
It's adorable. Look at this door. Look at this door. I think he's breathing. I think it's talking to us.
Yeah, the door is talking to you?
Yeah. Yeah, look.
This door.
And you see Sparkles walk up and headbutt the door, and then fall into the door, and you hear a crunching sound.
Sparkles. Come on. Get out of there. Now's not the time. Hello?
Have you ever been to Chuck E. Cheese, and you put your tickets into the machine, you hear that crunching sound?
No.
Oh, I'll play it for you one day. A very distinct sound of crunching. It's a lot of like... Nom, 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 nom.
I'm just going to scream help.
You all hear help echoing out into the room.
Oh, why does shit keep happening in that room?
Oh my goodness gracious.
Bartholomew looking around going, I don't, gonna go ahead and take a mulligan on the old room there. Do I get one sit out per adventure? I'm gonna take a sit out. Is that okay?
You absolutely get to sit out.
Alright, I'm gonna sit next to the scary oak man who used to love me. Alright, thank you.
It might still love you, I don't know. He's talking about his first
I've
kiss.
seen every-
We'll
Hey,
head
Joe,
back
go
through the
in.
invisible, or the illusionary wall.
Alright,
Yeah.
Morgan, what are you up to?
I'll head through with
Okay.
them.
Orville?
He's gonna take his time.
Alright, Orville,
He's gonna be a few paces behind everybody else.
fair enough. Last one through the door is Orville. You all come through and you look, and Celeste is standing in front of this vault door and has just screamed for help.
So that's what happened.
And it's Sparkles.
The-
The
oh,
door.
your horse.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
is it another mimic?
I don't know. It said top of the morning, Mr. TT, and and then yeah.
So that's. I want you to walk away from the door. Come back over here.
What about Sparkles?
You can re-summon him if something happened to him. If something didn't happen to him, we'll get him out of that door once we understand things a bit better.
I think it's breathing.
That sounds like a mimic, which was the other door.
I just asked. Excuse me, Mr. Door. Can you release Sparkles, please?
You hear this kind of like groan a little bit. A small scene seems to open up at the edge of the vault. And there's a cough, kind of a cough, and you see pixie dust come out. All that remains of Sparkles.
Well, maybe if you re-summon Sparkles, Sparkles might not be tiny anymore. Since Belle said you can re-summon them. Maybe.
Well, why wouldn't he be small anymore? I don't understand.
Because that wasn't the thing that was supposed to happen.
Yeah, so like that dome that I'd make for everyone, typically things aren't supposed to like go inside of it after I like designate who goes in it. But since like Sparkles is kind of a part of you and your power, there was some sort of strange exception, and I think it stood up and it made Sparkles tiny.
Travel size. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe also this time Sparkles will be less racist.
Can only hope.
He wasn't racist. That doesn't even make any sense.
Celestial drunk.
Belle, you're an elf.
Yes.
Everyone just
Okay.
dropping truth bombs.
I'm going to start ritual casting detect magic so I can take a look around this room.
Sure. Anything else you guys want to do? Will you wait the 10 minutes to cast detect magic?
Yep, JJ's just gonna look around at like maybe the other doors from a like 10-foot distance
Mm-hmm.
at least, and just see like what kind of door each door kind of looks like, or if there seems anything strange about them.
Sure.
Any other breathing.
Yeah, you look at both of the doors, and they both seem like doors. They're rather simple for how ornate the rest of this place is. The pair of them together both look like standard wooden doors that seem to just been sunken into the wall. Go ahead and give me an investigation check if you would.
That was a 14, please.
14, okay. Looking it over, both of them seem to be made completely out of wood. They lie flat against the wall for the most part that you can tell, and just seem normal. The only like kind of remarking thing is just that they seem rather simple as compared to the rather ornate room that you find yourself in the office itself. Heck, the whole casino. These are probably like the most kind of well-made and high-quality doors, but there's no fanciful designs across them, nothing of that sort. You know that TT was definitely a person with a flair for the dramatic, so this seems to be kind of meh.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. What's the play? Anything else you guys want to do before detect magic?
JJ will just let at least Val know that she's got the special key ring. But otherwise she's good to move on through detect magic.
All right. Vel, you finish your ritual. You begin the final incantation. You go to cast. And there's a moment where your spell feels a bit odd compared to what it should. And then it takes effect. There seems like a small pause between the final bits of incantation and the completion of your spell. But you have detect magic.
any arcana or insight into why something like that could happen?
You're in the effective layer of a mage. One who's good at illusions and trickery. Any number of things, truly.
Okay.
As a necromancer, has nothing to do with undead.
I wasn't sure if I could get an arcana roll to have any idea. That's why I asked.
You gotta have that, I miss the old days when it was like, I pick these 2 schools and I forsake these 3 schools, because no one ever picked illusion. Always so good,
Okay. What do I see?
You see a ornate room with no magical auras.
Okay. Nothing here is magical to what I can see.
But shouldn't the door be magical if it ate my sparkles?
Your friends do light up. They do have magical items, to be clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Not necessarily if it's something that is a creature that isn't necessarily magical, or there are spells that make it so magical auras don't appear. It's a cute old trick. Let's just safely take a look around. Can I do an investigation or perception of the vault door without touching it to try and figure anything out about it, or an arcana?
You wouldn't be able to investigate it, but you could perceive it, so you can roll perception.
Okay. Oh, that's pretty good. 21.
Right on. Looking it over, you get the same kind of sensations that Celeste gets. The door seems to very, very, very minorly heft and move. And it almost seems very faintly that the door is breathing.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a couple gold down, and this is definitely a mimic of some kind.
Right.
So what do we do? Do we just like throw things at him?
I'm gonna slowly start pulling out my sword. Do we just chop him down?
Well, it is a vault. I don't know if it's just a trick. There's no aura, though.
Is there a keyhole or anything on this vault, or is it a spin lock?
You look, and yeah, I mean, even as you ask this and look it over yourself, Morgan has already pointed out to many folks, it's just legitimately a turnstile in the middle with no discernible real way to fit keys in it or anything of the sort. The heavy, cumbersome locks that jut into the adjoining stone wall and marbled floors just seem to, for whatever reason, have no way to unlock. Any type of moments to investigate this door, there should be no logical way that this thing unlocks or locks ever. Nothing seems connected.
Kind of like how the doors kind of just appear with the key. Miss Vel, I could try a key ring, see if it acts like the door to the office.
You could. Celeste, you said you heard a voice?
Oh yeah, look. Excuse me, Mr. Door, or Miss Door, or just Door. Good morning.
You wave your hand in front of it again.
Yeah.
Enough time has passed. You again hear a voice echo out into the room. And you hear, "Well, hello there. Top of the morning to you, Mr. TT."
See? And then I turn around and it ate sparkles. So don't stand too close, because you may go too. If you go in there, though, get sparkles, okay?
For JJ and for Morgan, when you hear this voice echo, you both note with your passive perception, in the bottom left corner of the vault door is a very small, large-lipped mouth that forms on the edge of the door, and then morphs back into the metal.
Oh. Another illusion.
Sorry, what, JJ?
Oh, so every so often, I've seen a couple people use it to like play pranks on folks, but essentially what happens is every so often, a little mouth comes up at the bottom of the door and says the whole "top of the morning, Mr. TT" thing. What is it? What is it called? Magic mouth?
Yes.
Something like that.
But a magic mouse spell doesn't eat a small horse.
Yeah, that's the concerning part. It's the closest thing I could think of. But yeah, there is a little mouth if you look for it in the next, I don't know, few minutes, I guess.
As you all discuss this, you hear, with a little agitation,
Morning. Good morning. Door.
You
Can
see
I remember how TT would normally respond to a good morning greeting?
He would wish you all good morning as well.
I wasn't sure if there was a particular way that he responded.
Mm.
Okay. Good morning?
As you say this, same as Celeste, no real response. The small seconds following this, kind of like brief pause, you hear the clicking of the lock itself, and it seems as if many of the bolts sink a little bit deeper into the wall.
Can I also say good morning?
Yeah. You say good morning. There's a bit of a shudder, and you can actually, at this point, you guys see like a small ripple across the vault. Nothing seems to happen other than that. There's like this almost like alien feeling of the metal of this door.
Would like to cast knock, please.
Yeah, right. I will say, Morgan, you can roll intelligence for a clue.
I'll do that.
Go right ahead.
Just a straight intelligence check.
Great intelligence check.
That's a 7.
7. Yeah, not too much more to get, honestly. You know yourself now, and the kind of grafted bit that's inside of you. There are memories and thoughts of knowing people are untrustworthy, knowing that if you have a key to something, someone could steal it out of your pocket. You have a number of paranoias about your coin purse being lynched and taken from you, and all these more or less dramatic over-exaggerations of people stealing from you. And it's a deep-seated fear in your heart. But past that, you don't really have a further idea as to what exactly this is or what TT did. But more that sensation that finding things that cannot just be stolen is a very important thing to you.
Finding things that cannot be stolen.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Can I try to investigate the door with like mage hand?
Sure. You're just gonna like tap on the sides and like pat it out with mage hand?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and give me a dexterity check or sleight of hand, your choice. If you're trained in sleight of hand, you can do sleight of hand.
That is a 24 for sleight of hand.
24. Your invisible hand kind of rolls across the metal, begins tapping and trying to feel for where the creases should be. You don't have any tactile sensation here, but when you push and pull the invisible hand, you can feel the depth that its fingers can go. You can feel when it gets stopped on a hard object because of the way in which you arcanely pull and push this, but there isn't anything like, you can't feel the texture of the vault. As you dance your fingers across it, very much as a trained safecrack might ought to, you see the door kind of shudder a little bit, and you start to hear, oh, not there. And you see the door kind of shake a little bit. And as you continue your investigation, your probe, here, oh, no, I'm awfully ticklish. You shouldn't. And then you see the door shake a little bit.
Can I continue doing the same thing?
Sure. You continue to try to find the spots that you note the door is ticklish. The vault shudders and shakes and starts to erupt into laughter. This and eventually you hear the turnstile on the middle of it shunt. It makes this loud doof sound. And you go, now I don't hear that is enough. Enough! Please cease. And you see the door shift and a large set of eyes grow, a large mouth grows, and this kind of fanciful dancing light erupts over the front of the door and makes the semblance of a face. You see it look over and look across each of you. It's kind of like pale looking eyes slowly filling with bright purple-line colors. And you see it look and lock in at you and goes, that is quite enough. Please stop.
Excuse me, I apologize.
Do you retract your hand?
Yes.
Your invisible hand slowly pulls back, and you see the door kind of slowly regain their composure. And this kind of like almost feminine face looks across, its nose twitching being the vault handle itself. It goes, oh, well, I never, ever want to feel that way again. Please keep your hands to yourself.
Think I can do that. I apologize for bothering you.
As you should. Now, where's Mr. TT? He's to have a deposit this morning.
Well, a good question. I suppose I'm technically TT.
Oh, are you then?
Mm-hmm.
Well then, good morning. Top of the morning to you, Mr. TT.
And you see their eyes narrow at you, as if expecting something.
Can I try to figure out what the response would be?
You can roll insight.
Okay.
And for this purpose, we'll get into this in a second. To be continued. To be continued.
Would this be considered anything with an illusion or anything?
No, this is a creature.
Cool.
Shockingly enough.
Does that include like Celeste stuff too, or no?
That's only for saving throws.
Got it. Cool. So that is a 13.
13. You don't know what the expectation is. You do know that the way in which it's been presented multiple times seems to be the setup for a code. You know, in your long history of being a rogue, there are often passphrases, a prompt and an answer that is to be expected when two people meet. as you compare it to this feeling of trepidation in your heart over your possessions being stolen, you would know that you can't physically steal a password. You can only steal keys and other devices that can be kept locked. It kind of harkens back to the box you found. Locked and able to be opened and manipulated, yet then sealed even further so for even the most discerning of mages.
Would this sound like anything Morgan would have heard with, like, Thieves' Cant? Like anything that she would have heard anybody else using specifically?
More than likely not. Just because you were an urchin and born to the city. Specifically, you know that many of these kind of phrases are further out than Ravon. Assuming where TT is from, you'd assume that that kind of culture and community had a number of key phrases like that.
Could JJ potentially know any sort of greetings or phrases?
I will say this, if you know as a person, I will not make you roleplay not knowing as a character. Suddenly everyone gets a white on their face as Google is open. We search for the responses. Yes, to key in the group. It's a riddle, Harry.
Can I roll like just a general intelligence for like a clue?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, go ahead. I'd say, actually, you don't need to roll. You're like a +5 int at this point, +4?
+5.
+5? I mean, just on base intelligence, you would know that whatever this phrase is something that most likely, especially the way it's been presented, most people wouldn't think twice about it, but the people who know would probably know. It's just one of those like cultural things, how elves shake hands, how dwarves greet one another. Whatever this is, it's been taught a certain phrase that it now has an expectation for a response. And I would be...
So,
Oh, go ahead.
me as a person,
Yes, you as a
I'm
person.
going to make a series of inferences here.
Sure, uh-huh.
So she's got an Irish accent.
Okay,
Therefore, she
okay.
was raised Catholic.
I don't...
Therefore,
that's not
the
religion.
response is, and also with you.
Could certainly be. Unless she's Orthodox, and then it's different. Unless you're a true son, or a true daughter.
Would Jones know this?
No, because it's not Dwarven. Shockingly enough. It is
Can I just...
a race I don't think you guys have encountered as often as you should.
Me as a person, if I know the answer,
You can say it. I'm not
Is
gonna
it-
I'm not
is
gonna
it-
harass you.
is it and the rest of the day to you?
You want to say that?
Yes.
Alright. Celeste, you look to the door and you go, and the rest of the day to you. Oh, very good to be hearing from you, Mr. TT. Of course. But as your little bog might be, where can we be found?
God damn it, I think I just got it. Don't make me sing the whole thing.
It's not, I don't know what you're talking about. A song? Why would it be a song? That's crazy.
Find the lyric.
Oh, we're doing lyric genius, so we've gotten to lyric genius. This is
A hole in a bog.
huh?
The bog down in the valley.
What do you want to say? Down in the valley?
Yes, please.
All right. So you say down in the valley. He goes, oh, right you are, Mr. TT. Your bog lay in the valley. Oh, well, very good then. Please, do note, we'll be closing up very soon. The eyes fade. The mouth morphs back in the door. Its nose spins. And you hear a locking sound. It slowly wrenches these metal beams and pipes out of the wall. You see the two doors to either side of you twist and morph into beautiful statues of Mr. TT. Clearly the other mimics in the room paying their due diligence to their lord. The vault opens up, and inside is a depth of a vault laden with riches, jewels, silk cloths, and hundreds upon thousands of stacks of coins. At this point, we'll take our break, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes. We're at 9:05. Let's shoot for 9:10, folks. We'll try to wrap it up before 10 today. Keep it light and easy and breezy. See you in a bit. Peace. And just like that, we are back. Hello, folks. Hey, it's me, Kareem Zamir. Those are the Seekers of Galanti. This is the second week. Thank you for sticking with us after the break, you level 20 characters. As always, greatly appreciate everyone who stuck with us after the break. These sessions can go long. The thinking and the what to do next and what comes next is always difficult to assume as a whole thing. With that being said, when we last left our valiant heroes, they had just spoken to a vault, given a pair of key phrases in return, and now the vault rolls away, breaks down, and now you look into an open room. Let me see here. Will it close it? Nope, it's not closing it, no matter what I do. Where is it at? There we go. That's the one I want. But you look inside this vault as it falls away, the door itself falling away, and kind of seeping into the ground and the floor and grouts. You can hear the small trembling as this vault kind of remarks, I will only keep open for a little bit now. And you hear it kind of echoed out in this weird kind of like talky phrase sort. But looking inside are rows and racks of shelves, several containers that have almost like chip carriers, all lined with gold, platinum, and silver coins. A number of curious things all within. Seekers, you can see it from the outside, but who does what and what comes next is up to you.
I immediately go in. Sparkles!
Celeste,
Sparkles!
You look in. There is no sparkles.
My God.
Do I still have Detect Magic going?
Yeah, you do still have Detect Magic going.
As Celeste walks in, I'll follow her and I'll take a look around to see if there's anything that jumps out at me.
Sure. You look around and you do see a number of things that resonate with various bits of Arcana. Specifically, you note there are the room itself is encompassed by 3 rows. So there is a row to your left, a row to your right that are rows of shelving units themselves, all kind of like different racks that all line in this bank vault for the most part, the central hub and coinage for TT's operations here at the nice resort and casino he runs. And there's one in the very front. To your immediate left, you see rows of gold coins, rows of platinum pieces, and a collection of gems that all radiate with soft, small bits of primal arcana. You know them to be elemental gems of some nature. They don't seem to be the type that have an imprisoned elemental within them. Rather, materials and very expensive jewels that could be worth small fortunes in their own right for not only to crafters, but to those who collect in material goods that could be worthwhile. Among this shelf, however, as well, you do see a rack that has been set up and set into the collection of shelves. It runs floor to ceiling, and across it, you see a number of wax-sealed scrolls, each one radiating an arcane aura. It seems to be a scroll rack with several scrolls laid upon it. Looking at the back shelf, as you kind of go through, you see a number of, again, coins, jewelry, things of that sort, but then the back seems to be mostly material goods. You see an obsidian statuette with gold fittings, a steel-plated longsword with a jet set into its hilt that radiates a little bit of an arcane aura to it. You see a number of things embossed with amethysts, idols, and a selection of small potions that run the length of the bottom shelf, that all seem to be in rather well supply. To either side of the corners, you do note there are heavy-looking crates that have been sealed and very much hidden away. Your detect magic would not pierce the thickness of the wood, as per the spell. But then on your final shelf to your right, again, more gold, more platinum, another collection of gems that seems to be offset, each of them as well seeming to mirror a little bit of an elemental affinity, each one in case. With that, in that shelf particularly, you do see a strange looking hook that leans off of the rightmost collection of shelves, and on it is a long kind of selection of platinum beads that end in a fine looking jeweler's loop, and it radiates a fair amount of arcana.
There's a lot of stuff in here.
Like it's a vault. It's neatly organized, but yeah, you would assume that even the dragons of the yesteryears would likely not scoff at the collection of goods, both sundry and valuable, in this area.
While this is all going on, can JJ be keeping the tempo of Rattling Bog?
Mm-hmm.
And just let folks know that that song takes approximately 5 to 6 minutes to complete, and let them know they probably have 5 to 6 minutes.
Would you really think me so bold as to start playing Rattlin' Bog on my phone
Yes,
to
bro.
know when the
Yes.
Okay, yes, you have exactly about 5 minutes until the
Cool.
closes. Specifically, you have 3 minutes and 11 seconds.
DM, can I look out for Darby O'Gale and or a squirrel?
You could look out for both, but the squirrel will get you.
So Vel's going to start taking stuff and putting it in the bag of holding at this point before, as JJ like hums the tune to know how long she has.
Are you
Vel,
prioritizing
would you
anything
like me
in
to-
particular?
Yes, the jeweler's loop, the scrolls, and then the elemental gems, as they're valuable.
Okay. The gems, you note there are 20 in total, all set in ornate fittings on the shelves. The scrolls, so those are the gems. The scrolls themselves total in a number exceeding 20. So to grab all of them, you'd be able to choose one or the other by one person. Effectively, if you guys are trying to get the most out of it, it would be wise to set up. There's nothing to say you can't reopen this vault. It's just you can only do it in increments equal to the song.
That's fine. So as I would have done the first go through, I would have pointed out all of the magical things in that time, and then would focus the beads and then the scrolls.
Okay. So easy.
I'm sorry, are you telling us that what's magical?
Yeah, that my whole first part would have been, this is magical, that's magical, this is magical, and then there's just gold and platinum everywhere at the same time. So
yeah, they're all set in. If you've ever been to a casino, they're in little like trays that are like little felt trays where there are stacks of tens and 20s and hundreds of coins that are all incrementally organized so that if need be, if they need to make change, they could just grab a rack and walk out of this room with a set amount of money.
I just call out and say that whoever can grab the magical stuff, and I'll just start grabbing plat.
Start grabbing stacks of plat.
As much plat as I can.
Sure, easy enough to do. We're gonna start pouring it in your bag.
Just fucking go for it, yeah.
Okay.
As much as I can lug out of here.
I will say you can pick one shelf. So you can pick the left shelf, the far shelf, or the shelf to your right. You effectively have like 3 options.
Was there any descriptions about those shelves?
Yep.
Other than the magical items?
The one to your left is the one that has the scroll rack embedded in it. It still has stacks of gold and platinum in its nice little rows. It's also one that has a collection of gems. The one on the back wall seems to have mostly items affixed to it, but it also seems to have the most amount of coinage that is also set aside. The wall to your, or the set of shelves to your right, your immediate right, also has a collection of gems, even more so than the first shelf. But it also has a number of small potions as well as gold and platinum. And then you also note there are 2 big crates on the back wall themselves that are nailed shut for the most part. I will press play.
There, boys to break. I'm going for him.
You're gonna go what? Break what?
The crates in the back.
Sure. Do you want the left one or the right one?
Odds is left.
All right.
That's a 1. Odds.
Okay. So you go to the left. You walk up. I need an athletics check. Your weapons are magical for being a fist, but I do need you to make an athletics, or it can be an acrobatics because you could try to ancient secret it a little bit.
I want to front flip axe kick the shit out of this.
Fair enough. Oh, big flipping kick. That'll work. Morgan, do you want to go for the leftmost shelf, the far shelf, or the right shelf? Set of shelves. But still.
I want to go with the right shelf.
The right shelf? All right. Go ahead and roll sleight of hand and hold your result. Orville, hold your result. Celeste, what are you wanting to do? You're already in the room. You're looking around. You see Vel grab the jeweler's loop, and you're starting to pull the scrolls. You said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Vel pulls this jeweler's loop and then begins pulling spell scrolls as quickly as possible.
You said there was a magical sword?
From the looks of it, on the far wall, the kind of furthest amount of shelves, you see Orville jump up into the air and do this like landing, splitting axe kick on a box. But on the actual shelves themselves, there's a number of small objects that seem to have been collected or otherwise fenced to the casino. It looks like a collection of things that people put up for ante that they later couldn't pay for. Sitting amid that, sat in a small holder, is a silver-plated steel longsword with a black jet, set into the hilt.
Okay. I'm just gonna grab the sword.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Sword, or Mrs. Sword, or Sword, just come with me. It is time we go together.
You take the sword off the rack and pull it into your hand, and you watch as the silver-plated blade slowly cracks and crumbles and falls away to dust. You hear a cracking sound, and the small piece of jet in the hilt shatters. You are left with this beautifully ornate handle as you hold it in your hands.
Uh-oh! Whoopsie!
I look over, is the handle still magical?
100%.
Still good!
You sure?
James,
Yep, magical as hell.
JJ.
GM,
Yep, go ahead. Yep.
Is this a very deep cut of Kareem lore?
What? I would never.
Okay.
So I can still have it? I can still...
It's still something. I'll
Okay.
investigate it later.
Oh, okay. So can I just grab that sword and then try to walk over and kind of help Vel?
Pull the scrolls, or
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going for like more than 2.
okay, that's fine. Mostly shoving them in a bag of holding at this point. If you
Okay.
wanted, Vel can more than likely pull the 20 scrolls in 3.5 minutes. If you wanted to grab a different thing as well, you're able to. In this instance, since you're going to have a lot of things to kind of review at this point.
Val points to the gems.
There's a lot
and
of
the potions.
Yeah, there's potions,
Potions?
there's gems, there's all. I mean, just on the shelf you've chosen specifically. So I'll break down everything that's on this shelf. How's that? Since you picked the far end shelf.
Okay,
On the
thank
far
you.
end shelf, there's a bottle stopper cork embossed with a gold leaf and set with amethysts emblazoned on it. There's an obsidian statuette with gold fittings in a silver inlay. A silver-plated steel longsword with a jet hilt, which you've already broken.
Broken? Yep.
Yep. There's another bottle stopper cork embossed with a gold leaf and set with what appears to be a series of pearlescent carvings. You see a small golden idol, a potion, and a set of them, all in like little kind of milk crates, all nice and organized. If you would like one of the 3 potions, you could probably grab a whole crate of them off the shelf as your other item if you wanted to.
Okay.
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 Do you want to? So go ahead here and just roll a d6, and let me know what you get. JJ, and hold that result. JJ, what do we get?
JJ wants to go after one of the shelves of gems.
Okay.
Since it seems like that's what people haven't gotten quite yet. So
Sure.
there's one on the left and the right, you said?
Yep. There are 10 gems to the left and 15 gems to the right.
She will... Let me roll really quick to see what I...
Go right ahead. And while you hold that result, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
So that's going to be on the left.
Okay.
And she'll take however many gems she can in that time.
Sure. Works for me.
But she will stop when folks have about 45 seconds to get themselves out.
Okay. You look over these gems, and just for reference, each of these gems resemble sapphires, rubies, opals, things of that nature. But they're all about the size of a softball, give or take. They're large, very large gems. Cool. With that, let's go here. What was our sleight of hand check there, Morgan?
22.
22. What is your strength, Morgan? Your strength
7.
score. 7?
8. Wait, with the minus, right?
Yeah. Well, what if you have a
7.
minus strength? 7. So with a 7, you can comfortably carry about 105 pounds. You have the dexterity to collect more platinum from the shelf, but you do not have the strength to carry it out, as you very easily have stacks over 100 pounds of coins in just platinum in your hands. So
Can I carry as much as I can, and
Of course.
then... like, I'm at the shelf with the potions, right?
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah. So yeah, you easily can take this shelf full of coins, and with your strength score, you eyeball it. You have in racks of like tens and hundreds, about 1,000 platinum coins just in this collection. And you exit the vault safely. A spinning axe kick from Orville. Go ahead, and what is your result?
I've got the +3 to all my stats from siphoning it off Jonesy, right?
That is 100% true.
All right, then we got a dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Axe kick this crate.
You hear the whoo, boom. This cracks. I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw immediately.
That's a nat 20.
Nat 20. You crack and you feel your foot hit against something hard, and you manage to kind of push yourself off of one of the shelves and land. before putting all of your weight into this kick. You look at the shattered pieces, you move the 2 pieces of boards off of this like heavy looking crate. On the inside is straw, of all things. You move the top layer of straw out of the way, and you see rows of silver trade bars, minted and mined with the city press of Ravon.
That's a lot. How do we get that out of here?
You're not 100% sure, but looking at each of these silver bars, each one is about 5 pounds, and this crate is about as tall as you are.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. Thoughts, Orville?
Well, with a strength of 11, how many can I carry? And
well, let's see, 11 strength. We're looking at about 165 pounds. So you can pick up 33 trade bars if you'd like.
I would like to stack trade bars in my arms.
I will, for the purposes of comedy, say a few of them have to be stuffed in the front of your pants, so you look like you got a big old sack. You're wobbling out with it in your arms.
Sounds good.
All right. With this as well, a good thing to note here. As you are digging down and you get to about the 30th trade bar of silver, you see a glint of gold underneath.
Oh, goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Are they gold trade bars?
You dig around and you pull it. It's about as heavy as the silver, but you now hold in your hand a single 5-pound gold trade bar. Again, with the stamped crests of truly it's the country of Ravon, but it's the city crest, so it's actually the one that is used for Ravon-governed cities.
Bring that down to 32 trade bars of silver.
And 1 gold one.
And 1 gold one.
Fair enough. Going to Celeste, what is your d6 roll?
5.
5. With a 5, you pick up a crate of what at first seems to be milk. They are tall-looking corked bottles that are thin and slender. They don't seem to resemble that nice rounded bottom shape that healing potions seem to have. These are very curious, and they look almost like a strange type of like mother's milk within them. There's a swirl and almost a mysticism to them. But you put a whole crate of them. You have a total of 9 under one arm, and you have your hilt in the other, and you make your way out of the vault.
Is this spider's milk?
Oh no, I wouldn't be that cruel. It's just actual spiders in a bottle. Yeah.
I hate you!
Yeah. That's alright. It's not what it is. You'll figure it out soon. JJ.
Oh, thank you.
You attempt to pluck these jewels, these heavy gems. You note that each one is about a pound, but being that there's only 10 on this shelf, I just need you to roll me a sleight of hand check. It's more to take time to unsqueeze them from their fittings and pull them free into your hands.
That is an 18, please.
18. Easy enough to do. You pocket all 10 of these gems, and we'll get to that when you get there. But with that, everyone has completed their run in the fungeon, the vault. JJ shouts out that there's a there's a frog in the log in a hole, and like starts going through it. You all run out just as the last little refrain from Ratlenbog completes, and you see the walls morph in on themselves, and this heavy-looking vault door seals once again. Seems locked. You hear a voice cough out and go, "Y'all come back now, Mr. TT." You guys are just holding a bunch of loot in a hallway. Marble floors. You watch as both marbling statues of TT shift and twist into small pseudopod covered amalgams, these strange, almost ooze creatures, as the two mimics shift back into fake wooden doors on either side of the wall.
Alright. I'm going to spend the next several hours identifying everything, so nobody touch anything that kills them. Good? We good with that?
It's a
I
big
think that's
box.
what Paris says.
Orville's
I
He
gonna make
doesn't
guess.
know
a,
that.
That's true.
Orville is going to make a very slow approach and kind of just gently nudge Vel with his elbow while still holding all these bars.
It's just
That's so much money.
clang, 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 clang.
So you're not gonna kill me. I can touch you. Okay.
Oh,
Alright.
no,
But
I wasn't. Yes, yeah. Good one, Orville. Very good. Yeah, Belle's pretty happy to just sit and like learn about everything that she's seen that's glowed at this point.
True.
JJ's gonna sit with Vel and kind of just notate everything that Vel says about all of these new fancy things.
I mean, if you guys want to take several hours in his office, you certainly can. It's just up to you what you want to do, how long you want to stay in this office, or what the plan is, really. I mean, it's one of the things now where it's like you have a lot of things that are valuable, but it's all in what you want to do with it. If the goal is to loot the place and leave, then that's certainly a thing. You'll just need to find a way to cart all this stuff out of the casino. But it's more what else you're looking for at this point.
I did want to try and see if Warden Costa was maybe somewhere in this building. Not in her right of mind.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to assess that, and also maybe we could talk about what happens next to Grim Village.
We don't have the deeds. Unless they're in that box.
The box looks at the desk ominously, covered in
Well-
scrolls and such.
Well, I do have
Should
this key. I'm sure it doesn't open that box. But it might be able to take us to somewhere where the deeds are. Maybe they're stored somewhere in particular.
Maybe Morgan can open the box. You're crafty and.
I mean, that box is glowing
Should
with an
be.
arcane aura. There's magic going on there.
Oh yeah, it's definitely
Magically.
dangerous.
Oh, the box is don't touch the box, anybody.
You know it's dangerous.
Me?
Yeah,
Morgan, she said so. Did you
I do.
inspect it? Is it trapped?
in a way, I inspected it. It's some kind of curse. I don't think whoever tries to open it would live through finding out what's in it.
She sounds unsure.
I mean, first fell to instantly kill someone. That would be incredibly powerful. Like the most powerful.
Hey, Val, do you ever have any, like, ghost pains in your arm when you're thinking about really powerful things?
I don't know if I've ever really talked to you about exactly how I lost my arm, so I'm not sure how you would infer that unless you watched it through some digital programming.
Actually, you did tell me about that.
Oh, I did? Nah, I can't remember things very often.
You told me that you carried a very magical aura with you.
Okay, that's true. Alright, whatever. Fine. What about it? I don't know, maybe, sometimes. I kind of felt like shadow ghosts in it because there were clowns living in me. Like, I felt a lot of weird shit through my arm.
The other half of this, of course, is that you are a team that is under media coverage almost all the time.
Oh, that's fair.
A small individual in the field waves to Orville.
Yeah.
Where's he at? I can't see him.
Looking
Dave's
around.
warming up to us. He's
I
waving
can't
now.
see past all these bars.
Just has a bar over his eyes. Or
Like, I
he's got
just
all these...
imagine like a stack of books or boxes or something like up over his head, and he's
Oh,
just
yeah,
wobbling
100%.
around behind it.
Yeah.
Like one's occasionally falling off here or there when there's a misstep.
Tung, 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 tung. Big honking silver bars.
But no. So that's generally I don't get any sensations there anymore.
Okay. Well, if you ever do and you want me to punch you in it, I'm here for you. Ghost pains are serious.
Why would punching me help?
Because then you'd have real pain and you wouldn't have to just have a mystery pain. I could just create it, you know?
Sounds like how like someone with like mental health issues might try and deal with like their pain. Like mask it with other pain.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nah.
I just
Passes Morgan whiskey.
little, you know. I think there's better ways to cope. We can
Cope with
try
what?
and find them. Pain.
We do have that glove, the therapy glove.
Morgan takes a huge swig of whiskey.
Therapy glove did wonders for me. I was able to
Didn't
give
you die?
myself an
I thought you said you
aneurysm.
died that
You
night.
only
Yes, I
died.
gave myself an aneurysm and killed my inner fun me, and now I'm better.
I think you're still fun in your own way. Now you're
No,
Not
Celeste told
like-
me I wasn't. I know I'm not. It's okay.
And
Morgan,
I
appreciate
need help
that.
with coping mechanisms? You killed yourself just so you could come back and be better. I just wanted to punch you to make you
I had
feel
an
real
evil
pain.
clown living inside of me.
I guess it depends on who you ask, though, really, right?
Celeste. I was there. It was
Oh,
definitely
okay.
a tiny evil clown.
All right. So JJ also thinks he was evil. I
Just
wonder
a
if
little.
Morgan would have thought they were evil.
It depends.
For point of reference, as Morgan goes to reach for one of the whiskeys, she reaches for the firstmost, and then there's something like a twitch and a shiver in her hand, and she reaches to the third one on the shelf, and then unbottles it and smells it and goes,
Bitch.
and drinks that whiskey. And it seems to be, as it hits your tongue, it's one of the most exquisite and aged whiskeys you've had in a long time. But there's a familiar, robust taste that makes it your favorite whiskey. It's a fine gnomish whiskey. It's actually, you have like fond memories of going to the brewery where it's made, which is actually in a small, kind of like shiredom of halflings. Where they make a type of wheat and rye that is then distilled down even further to make this kind of interesting whiskey blend that then the gnomes further crafted. It's delightful whiskey. You know in your hand right now, if you want to put it down, you have a gnomish whiskey, and you know its street value is roughly 1,200 gold pieces a bottle.
Some expensive whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna kind of hang on to it.
Yeah.
Just go sit near the box.
Sit near the murder box.
Yeah.
Think about all the things that go wrong if you open that box.
But if I am TT,
What if you do? Yeah, I mean, you know. What if you are TT? Sips whiskey.
yeah, technically TT. Theoretically.
Theoretically. Hypothetically.
Hypothetically, I have become part of TT.
Am become TT, she says.
Are you gonna try and open that box?
I thought we just said it was deadly. I wanted to open. Can we open it?
Morgan found it, so it's her choice, I think.
Without attempting to dispel, which could be warded against such things. It's dangerous, and I cannot advise against attempting to simply open something that you say has the power to kill. I
believe it does, at least. I don't know. I think I may know a solution. And she's gonna look confused for a second. I think I know who created it. Who created the spell? Someone in the east named Oswald. So we could always try that before I technically try to kill myself if I'm not actually TT. Or I could open it. I mean,
check on an Oswald,
Yeah.
arcanely known.
Sure. Go ahead and roll history for JJ, Arcana for Vel.
Is this Mickey's cousin?
Ooh, no, he was
That
sold to that.
sucks. Oh my gosh, that's so bad.
What'd you get?
Yeah, mine was super bad too.
I got a 10 with my +8.
Ooh, a 2.
Mine is also sub 10. So.
Sub 10. With a 10, you've not fully known the name Oswald before, but hearing it, there's something to the name that triggers like a tip of the tongue, like I should know this person, especially for an Arcana check, and even for a Bardic check. It's kind of like I feel like this is an important person, but I don't really interact with them, and they do a certain thing. I've heard the name, but it just won't come to you in the moment.
Okay, I really don't think we should just haphazardly open that. We should at least try and dispel it first, but that has its own inherent risks.
Yes, I also, in case it does, unalive you, I do not have the ability to bring anyone back at the moment.
That would be a good thing to have prepared, just in case. If you really want to open it, we should definitely have that on the table.
I guess.
As you say
that,
Bartholomew waves to you, having taken a short rest, and has both his spell slots back.
Ah, salvation.
Warlock.
Hello.
Are you able to do the
The thing?
revivify thing again?
Hmm?
I don't know how your power works.
Oh, no,
Bartholomew.
I'm just saying I've done it once, so I feel like probably pretty easy to save lives when you're
A master at it?
chosen. Bartholomew looks to the sky and goes, and then
I'm
looks
so
at
proud of him.
a very sleepy Kobold Jones and pats the little part of diamond that looks like a goose feather on his head. He's like, I did that. You also fully notice Bartholomew has seemingly found what looks like probably a lunch that TT was having, maybe a day ago, and has started digging into the day-old bread. But up to you guys. What do you want to do?
It's dangerous, but what isn't?
Morgan's losing it. I don't know what happened.
Just give
I
me
have
a
the
hand.
door closed.
Out of character.
Hang on.
Out of character. If you want to fucking do it,
I mean, I'll
Do
do
it.
it. But
It
Steven
is
just
up to
popped open
you.
the. Steven just popped open the door. I guess he just took a shower and he's just shirtless. He's just standing there As he busts open the door.
It's amazing. Praise Steven.
I mean, yeah, I'll absolutely try this. Morgan has not died, has barely taken damage in anything. If she dies now, it is what it is. You feel me?
No, dog! I don't feel you!
Don't feel left out that you haven't died yet.
Listen, I'd like to die, okay? It's my first actual campaign. I'd like to die sometime.
I want to die.
Like,
I haven't died.
you should bring me back.
You die at the end!
I'm literally over here trying to take damage because I
Yeah,
can
try to
take
die. We
damage,
see you.
and I
We
can't
see
take
you.
any damage because Josh won't attack me ever.
Well,
I'll
I
attack you!
sometimes.
I'll attack you! Just stop!
You've attacked me once.
Get a melee
I'll
weapon,
attack
dog.
you more than him.
Dog, I got a melee weapon.
It's hard to
I don't know how to
The
use
most
it.
I don't know how to use
backwards
it.
like D&D conversation ever.
I've never
People
seen
are
anybody try and
normally, like-
kill their character so hard in my life.
Oh, I did it
know.
once.
From now
I
on, you
taunted
target
that
the rogue
lich.
first.
And I got a warning, and then I still taunted that lich.
Morgan
surprise
is
me.
an
If this
idiot
is-
thief kid that's like, ooh, what's in the box?
What's in the box?
Look, if
What's
this
in the
is what your character would do it. Just gonna be honest. Everyone's gotta touch the door, open the box.
She would
whatever it's
absolutely
gonna be.
think
Crawl
that
down
she
the
is
tunnel and
TT.
push all the buttons.
Mhm. What's the plan?
I mean, I'm gonna look at Buddy and I'm gonna be like, "Are you okay? If bringing me back is that a thing? I saw you do it with Jones.
Hmm.
Do we have diamonds?
I don't know. I
Is that
don't.
also
I
a
don't
thing?
own any diamonds.
So now you're worried about your life, huh? Now you're worried?
Well, I'm worried about coming back. I mean, like if I die, I die. If you guys don't have diamonds, that'd be pretty sad. But
Don't
if
you
that's
still
okay.
have a few?
Yeah, I still have a couple more.
Doesn't everyone have a few?
Yeah.
Well, I gave them to JJ. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I've got
Oh.
one more set from Morgan.
What do you want to do?
I have
So,
one
uh,
set on me as well. But it's just really dumb to me, you know, like choosing instead of waiting and trying to dispel it.
Well, I feel like if you try to dispel something that's powerful, like you said it was, I don't think it's gonna help anything. And I feel like if you
Just
try to
harder
dispel it
to
strong,
do.
then it's gonna ruin everything inside because the safe, you know.
Do you think that triggering it might not have a safety feature to ruin everything inside?
No, it's absolutely possible, but if we think this is the deed to this area, I doubt this is the only copy. Like, I don't think TT would just have one copy of every document behind one spell.
There generally
In
is only
one
one
safe.
original copy of most documents of that type.
But I mean, if you think about it, if you were in TT's position, would you keep one set of documents under one spell with one safe? Killing spell or not?
No, I presume there's more than one set of documents in there.
Well, no, I mean, like, you would keep them somewhere else, right?
Maybe. You wouldn't necessarily want there to be. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
If it was
can't
me, I'd
presume how his mind worked.
But I mean, either it goes wrong or we find the person to break the spell and he refuses, and then that starts a whole host of trouble.
You could just eat that guy too.
I would assume that I could, I guess.
You hear in your head, we could.
We could eat him.
That's
Well, I don't want to eat him. But you could eat him.
disturbing.
Do you want me to chop him up when we get there so it's easier for you?
I
Like
don't
baby
think that's
bites?
necessary. You know, I like.
It's safe in
I mean,
this room. Is this all on record?
You, Orville looks around, and there's a notepad and paper in the small individual's hands. He's writing. And you do one of these, and like looks at you, and you can't see their eyes, but you think that by the gesture they give you a big wink, and they keep writing.
Dave, I'll give you 10 plat if this is off the record.
I was just gonna offer one of the silver bars that I'm carrying. They're starting to get heavy.
You say I'll offer you 10 plat to keep this off the record?
Yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check. You advantage because they're greedy.
Mm-hmm. That is a 25.
25.
Mhm.
You hear from the back area, Orville can kind of translate over. You hear 10 platinum coins?
Sure thing.
Deal.
And I'll set
He's in.
10 platinum on the desk. Actually, I'm going to set 15 platinum on the desk and just slide it away from me.
All right. You watch, and in a moment, the stack shifts, and 5 coins are left on the desk. And on top of those 5 coins are 2 sheets of very tiny little pieces of paper. And if you read Sylvan, so Cobalt Jones can translate it, it states, Seekers of Galanti, after murdering a wealthy landowner, are now looting, pillaging, and rummaging through all manner of things. They're talking about ritual sacrifice to an ancient box through which we possibly do not know the origin of, but therein contains, more than likely in this investigative reporter's opinion, a demon or some foul curse.
So wait a second. We can just buy a mouthpiece for the media now? Sweet.
Thanks, Dave. You're my favorite fan.
Yeah.
And your wife. You can take the 5 plat as the tip. Give it to your wife. Let her buy something nice.
There's a gust. The 5 coins disappear. And then you hear... And you see a crash into one of the nearby walls, and one of the banisters lean down. And you see like about 15 coins spill out from an invisible thing. Almost like Sonic the Hedgehog. And you hear this kind of like grumbling, like, ow, it's heavy, ow, freaking frack, my leg.
Are you okay?
Maybe leave him in
Ah!
a safe spot.
Do you
And I can get him later.
do you need a little healing bump there, buddy? Are you okay?
I'm okay. No, I'm good. It's broken. Oh, God.
Broken!
Okay. Where are you?
Can
Hold
you
on.
make yourself visible so we can help you?
Yeah, hold on. And you see there's like a little shift and a shimmer, and sitting on this like little area is a very small, tiny, blue-skinned creature with a Newsies hat and tiny little boots, and around their waist is this big gold band with a bright diamond that fits the ring that they're wearing, almost like a weightlifter belt. And they've twisted the diamond and they've reappeared. And you look, and their right leg is cracked in 2 places as they had slipped and fell, having carried quite a lot of platinum pieces. About 1.5 pounds of platinum. Pound they had the strength for. The half, not so much. They hadn't stored it yet.
Can Jones do like a medicine check to kind of like crack his leg back in place? Is it like crumbled, like snapped, or like?
Oh, it just looks like it's like he's blue skinned, and his ankle is already purple. He's like, oh yeah, oh man, I think it's freaking broken, man.
JJ, do you have any?
I've got a little juice left in a tank, and JJ's gonna walk over. Now I'm gonna approach you.
Okay,
I'm gonna try and help,
okay.
and she will cast Healing Word.
Mhm.
I guess she doesn't need to approach, but she'll
Yeah.
make it look like she's like helping him.
Yeah.
And she'll cast Healing Word, and just kind of do some mumbo jumbo over his leg to make him feel like she's doing something extra special. But
All right.
Yeah, she'll do a little healing word for new friend Dave.
Sure. You cast the spell, the magic works, and you see the leg kind of pop back into place, and the ankle break back in forcefully. It's,
It doesn't feel great in the moment, but it's gonna heal a lot quicker and a lot easier now.
You see him quickly tilt the diamond on the ring, and he shimmers and vanishes, turning back invisible. You see a little dart. Yeah, thanks.
Of course.
Can I go collect the coins and then, like, kind of set the 5 somewhere hidden on a table?
You go to collect the coins, and there's already, like, a little dust devil forming around where they are. And slowly you see them in a form stack, and then slowly, one by one off of a stack, they seem to disappear after that.
There you go. Okay.
Try and be more careful, Dave.
You do
Coins
without
just keep
Dave.
disappearing.
Alright, well.
Well, should I go for it?
It's up to you. Now, I'm going to give you this key ring.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know if maybe it has something to do with it, but you just think of what you need, essentially. And that kind of key comes out. Now, I'm not sure if it'll do anything for you. But I'm going to let you have the key. And that way you can get into wherever, or put us wherever in this place, too.
Wait, that key could take us anywhere in this place?
So, like, it opens that door panel thing.
Yeah.
It's TT's key.
So we
It's
could have
on
been at
TT.
the pool this whole time?
If we were at the pool, we wouldn't have, found all that
wouldn't.
stuff in the vault.
We wouldn't
Yeah,
have
but-
found out that TT was behind everything.
Well, no. I mean, we could have just gone to the pool after killing him.
We could still go to the pool.
Okay.
We can go to the pool, but we've
All
got
right.
we've got a little bit.
All right. Well, we could go after.
What's the
After I
plan?
die and you guys res me?
Heyo.
If that's really what you want to try.
How else am I gonna know? You know, I could take it and lug this thing all around in your bag of holding and figure it out eventually once we're there, and it could be, a while.
Yes, we could.
I
we could
might as
do it
well try it.
Look,
There's
she's
the fast way and there's my way that's much more boring. I understand.
It's pretty boring.
she
I'm
wants
sorry.
to do the fun
To be
way.
It's
fair,
not fun.
You did say me eating people is gross, and I even offered to get you bodies and stuff. I feel like you gotta help me out here, you know? You gotta say this is cool.
This is cool.
Wait. No, I thought you wanted the group to eat bodies together.
No.
Oh, I can't eat
Why would I
bodies.
want
I'm not
Yeah.
eating.
I don't really
I'm fat.
understand
I
exactly what's
respect your
going on
diet.
with you, Morgan. I'm
Heck if I
sorry.
know.
I thought that you were trying to get everyone involved in some kind of group. Okay.
Like a
I
cult?
respect everybody's dietary restrictions, okay?
I don't,
But you want to
don't
eat
think
people.
I mean, I guess that's what I'm doing. Or I feel like sucking them in sounds worse than eating them, so
Wait, not say that again?
mm-hmm.
So you're not really eating, you're more like absorbing?
I'd assume so. I honestly couldn't tell you. I just...
Stop it.
Morgan, I'm sorry that I... it's when you deal with something new, lots of people... My apologies.
Okay.
Listen, are you gonna open this
I was
box
only a
or
little
not?
bit
Because I've been
offended.
coping with your death now for 5 minutes, and I need to know if you're dying or not.
Alright, I'm gonna try to open the box.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna
Uh,
take 5 steps back.
So you take the keys from JJ, is that right? The key
Mhm.
ring?
Yep.
You take the key ring and you think about opening this box. You
And I'm
look.
gonna channel as much of TT's
TTism
energy as I can.
All right.
Yeah.
She's just gonna hide
Give
behind
me-
a desk.
Give me an intelligence check before we attempt this. Not insight,
Okay.
because we're past that part. Just go into
Not in what?
intelligence. But don't worry about it. Just intelligence. Just social commentary. That's all I'm doing.
It's a 2.
It's 2. Total? Intelligence
Uh-huh.
2? Okay.
I have a
Got it.
+0. Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
We're dumb.
You think about what TT would do in this moment, and you're like, I open this box one way or another. You think about getting into this box, and you hold this key ring near it. You see a few of the keys float up and glow. A number of talismans peel off, some with different script and writing do seem to peel off. And you look, and there's a very heavy set one that seems to cover up a latch and a number of the folding mechanisms to the box. You reach forward, go to peel it back, and as you do so, do you have 100 or more hit points? Okay. You watch as you peel the beginning of this talisman down, and the script glows with this almost devilishly black necrotic sigil. You all watch as this large black-robed creature...
Can I attempt to counterspell?
Not casting a spell, it's releasing a
I
magical
wasn't
thing.
sure. That's why I asked.
You see this long, black and gray robed creature appear like a shadow from the floor over Morgan and hold the bottom of her jaw from the back and lean its skeletal head in close, and you hear it whisper something into her ear. Morgan tears the talisman and drops dead as a doornail on the ground.
Would Jones recognize what kind of creature this is?
The creature? It is a specter, specifically, of sorts.
I hand 2
What's it?
diamonds to Bartholomew and just sigh.
He goes, she's the scary guy killed her. Okay.
Yep,
And you
she's
see
dead.
you see this kind of like crazed looking reaper stand and hover over her body for a moment before slowly vanishing into shadows. You see a bit of a light in her chest as Bartholomew rushes over and uses his warlock spell slot to cast Revivify onto Morgan. You see a puff of her chest. She's not died yet. But you look and you can feel the shudder and the shake move through. The first diamond goes off and you feel as if life is about to begin again. Bartholomew looks over. Morgan is unresponsive to the first Revivify. Bartholomew goes, do I need, do we have the...
JJ's gonna run and put her last 2 diamonds.
Oh, okay. Bartholomew starts again.
Oh,
He holds.
Cast Revivify again. You see the diamond shatter and break again. Diamond dust fills into Morgan's body. And she coughs. You see her chest rise and fall. And you see for a moment this puddle of mercury silver liquid draining out of her, slowly drain back into her and begin to refill her body, having been revived itself.
Well,
Bartholomew goes,
good
Again.
job, buddy.
Morgan, on your neck, you see a goose feather. You guys can all kind of see it. Morgan can't see it, but has a diamond goose feather across her neck as kind of like almost a weird like tattoo.
So, how did it feel?
Do I know what he whispered to me?
You are not sure the word, but it was a single word, and at hearing it, you died instantly. Specifically, it's a word of power that every D&D player eventually learns. But
Can you
look
just
at
tell me the word for my knowledge? Because I don't know what that word is. Or do I have to wait till I die to know what the word is?
You die via this ability, yeah? Your
I
spell.
won't, because, like, no, that's
I'm gonna have
scary.
hit points. I'm gonna have
Just
hit
tell me.
points. However,
I'm gonna have hit points when I die.
I'm gonna have hit points. You look it over, and the box and its seals lay torn and wilted at its sides. And you look, and there is now this very heavy, ornate-looking box with a single large golden latch that is now uncovered. As you gas back to life, and Bartholomew looks you over and goes, "Hello, friend. Are you well? Are you a zombie? Goose? Goose zombie?
Don't think I'm quite a zombie, but thank you.
Honk, 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 honk,
Honk?
honk."
Honk.
No, she's okay.
We're talking goose.
You can't, you shouldn't say with that inflection, though. It's very insulting.
Oh, I'm
Just
sorry.
so-
You'll have
I
to
know
teach
you
me
didn't know.
the language.
Of course.
Hmm.
I know all languages, mostly.
Does JJ's hair kind of stand up a little bit and get a little spiky at the hunks?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Ears are like full up, ready to kill.
Well, can I amble my way up, I guess?
Yeah, you slowly
Assuming I'm pretty
rise.
messed up.
You hear your spine crack. I mean, you literally like went from being alive to falling backwards, full dead, full rigor mortis, just instant death.
Can I hug her and in the process of doing that heal her?
She's not missing any hit points.
Oh, I thought she just...
No, she just dies.
Just
Flat out.
dead.
When she comes
Oh.
back, she will only have one because of the nature of Revivify. But it's like, you're not apparently going to find anything. You can definitely heal her if you'd like. It's mostly to restore like warmth to her body at this point.
Oh.
Yeah, just flat out kills you. Revivify says you come back with one no matter what. She has hit points. She has a hit point.
Are you
Okay.
happy now, Morgan?
Well, I think I will be after I have a bit of a longer nap now. And then, can I look at the box
Mhm.
and like, it's just like all that paper's gone? Does it look like it's harmed in any way?
No, it looks like a pristine, very clean wooden box with several moving parts and a very heavy-looking gold latch that seems to keep it locked.
Do you guys think that was a one-time use spell?
Oh, for sure. What are the odds you're going to die again?
Well, the scroll that was holding it is gone now. So if there's another one inside,
That could
Possible.
Yo, what do? Decide. Well, past time.
Open the box.
You walking up and opening it?
Yeah, fuck it.
All right. You click
Oh.
the...
I'm gonna stop her and I'll open the box.
Oh, slaps. Thank you. You slap Celeste's hand. For a moment, Celeste, you feel when the top of her hand meets the back of yours, you feel hundreds of tiny little razors slap into the back of your hand and then pull back, and you can see spots of blood all over the back of your hand. You
Okay,
take a point
as she
of damage.
touches me, as I take my point of damage, I'm going to give her 10 points of healing.
Oh, there you go. That's a good trade. You heal 10. Immediately you can feel the small pieces of mercury returning into your body, and there's a sense of like camaraderie that seems to flow through you. You, with your free hand, dexterously, click clack, you open the latch and pull it clear, the small golden lever pulling back into place. The top of the box comes up, and you can slowly open the top of the lid. You peer down, and you can see a bleak, almost depthless black void inside of this box.
Val, can you come look at this?
okay.
I'll call her over.
So
So I'm assuming nobody's near it.
you look at this large kind of rectangular tower folding box, and with the lid open, there's just a pit of black. Almost a void inside.
Does this harken to be like a bag of holding of some coin? Or
It doesn't seem like a bag of
Does it-
holding, because it's not a bag, but it definitely has the same kind of depth or feeling of depth that a bag might have. Or bag of holding might have.
does it
Specifically,
seem like... So it does seem like that?
it has similar traits to it, for sure.
Okay. Does it seem like that with all those other, like that it has different combinations?
Do you want to try to move some of the pieces?
I mean, not while it's open.
Okay, you can close it and try to move some of the pieces if you want.
I mean, I can try and identify this if you want me to be sure, but it kind of resembles the void like a bag of holding, but if I identify it and it is a bag of holding, we'll know what's inside of it.
Huh?
I think that might be the best option, if that's okay, Morgan. Just to, avoid any more unfortunate circumstances.
Can you explain how that would work again? You put it.
What do you mean?
Well, I guess
Want
I
to
don't know what
identify
I.
it, right?
Sorry, that was over. I couldn't understand what you said.
Are you trying to identify it? Is that correct?
I can, if we don't want to just randomly stick our arm into it. If I identify it and it is like a bag of holding, when you identify a bag of holding, you get to kind of an understanding of what is inside.
I mean, it's probably a better idea than sticking our hand into a black void that just killed me, so I could always do it, but...
Right now, Morgan, in this decision-making process, I'm very proud of you.
Yeah.
Do you want me to put my hand in it?
Thanks, Val.
Oh, you want to wait?
No.
Okay. All right.
No.
Fine. Wait, but in theory, couldn't we just tip it over? And if it is a bag of holding, would
If-
everything just tumble out?
Yes, but we do not know what is inside of it, so that could be very, very foolish, and only a couple of idiots would do something like that.
I've
Hey,
heard
Jonesy, you want
this
to turn the box
story.
upside down?
Oh boy,
I've
I was
heard
talking
this
about me and JJ
tale.
in a previous campaign.
Yeah, I've heard this tale where a couple of gals kind of just flipped a bag of holding inside out, and out popped this psychotic little halfling with a club that didn't even speak normal languages.
These are oddly
I heard there were a
specific
lot of
stories.
bones too. Like, if this has a lot
Lots
of
of
bones in it, that'd be good
bones.
for me.
Yeah,
How do you live in a bag of holding, though?
We
Well,
don't
know,
Who
know.
knows?
who knows? It was a tale. It could be totally, like made up, but I've heard it before in books and things.
You've heard the tale in books?
Sounds like an old wives' tale to me.
Yeah, it's like one of those
I
old
know.
wives' tales.
I mean, like, don't you suffocate in there? I don't think there's something living in there.
Well, maybe
Probably
they
dead.
had like one of those straws and they were able to breathe through it.
I think we're all about a little tapped. I don't think we just want anything happening at this point.
Maybe we take a bit of a rest before we dump or stick hands in here. Because I'm gonna do one or the other.
I'll identify it.
I mean,
Okay.
you could just stick your hand in and then see what happens. Worst case scenario, you lose an arm.
They'll stick your other arm
You
in.
die.
I mean, like, I could also die.
almost lost that
You-
arm
you
once
could also
before,
die.
and
Never
unless
mind.
someone else wants to offer me a new one, I don't want to risk it again.
I thought we were already getting you a new arm, remember? Shouldn't it be ready any day now?
Well, do you remember what happened to
Yeah,
Deerwood
which will be
last
ready for a
time?
few more months.
Oh,
Literally ordered
months?
right before we left. Yes.
Oh, I don't know
Yeah,
how
and
long
then
it takes to build
Deerwood-
an arm.
And then
I
also
asked for a
Deerwood.
pretty fancy arm.
Oh.
Yeah. And then,
It's pretty
the city's
expensive.
in ruin, too, so that might be delayed.
Yeah, but we paid a lot of money. I'd be pretty upset if the order got delayed. An arm is pretty important.
They just went through an attack. A big attack. I mean, supplies are just
Which we
very.
saved them from, okay?
You are so understanding in their time of need.
Real Morgan always comes out. All right. So, question for the group: do you want to reach your hand in this box now, or do you want to wait for the identify spell so you know what the box is?
I'll wait for the identify spell. I feel like I did
Are
my
you
dumb
casting it
shit.
right now.
Yes.
Okay. Well, to keep with time, because we're already past time, but it's all right. Your shadow elongates. You put a single hand against this box. This old, kind of arcane creature again leans forward and laughs.
Well, now isn't this a curious find? One I would wager of legendary proportions. I know not this strange name here, but this box once belonged to a pirate of sorts. Sailor of a sea beyond space and time. Sought to keep a number of strange things locked away. How curious. It is known to me. Very few, all but the name that rings true upon its signature is Zamir's bottomless box. By storing items within it, the potential could be limitless. The various combinations of its drawers and sections can grow or shorten the opening of the box to store things larger than it might appear at first. No matter what is stored in it, the box will never weigh more than 10 pounds to its holder. Beyond that, we only know of legends and lore, but this has been a use of the Identify spell.
And now you know.
Yeah, so this is a pretty big deal. It can be reconfigured to store just about anything of any size, and it's legendary.
Interesting.
Which means, if you may recall, much like Orville's stick.
Mm-hmm.
He'll do a little twirl of it.
So I can't quite figure everything out about it. In fact, I didn't even get a list. But it is still Zamir's bottomless box. So it should function like a bag of holding. So if we're in the right compartment, place your hand in to pull out the deed to this casino. If it is in there, it will be in your hand.
As a small point of order, just so we let people know, casting Identify in a bag of holding identifies that it is a bag of holding. Turning a bag of holding inside out dumps all of its contents out. Identify does. No, Identify specifically says you identify the item in which you are touching. It does not give you a list of things that are inside. If you identify a
What's the way
backpack,
to
you
get
get
a list?
backpack.
I thought there was a way to get a list.
I don't know.
Okay.
Crazy artificers? I have no idea.
I thought maybe that was... I don't know.
You have identified what it is.
Do you guys want to keep going, or do you want me to stick my hand in this next session?
Oh, it should be safe, unless there's something in there that's going to grab you.
I just didn't know how late we were going. Yeah.
It's up to you. You can reach your hand in the box if you'd like.
You said it can be, like, I'm assuming Vel would communicate how it works.
Yeah, I mean, I was in character when I said that if you have the thought of what you want to pull out in mind, so if you think of the deed to this place, but you do need to know what you're trying to pull out, basically.
Mm.
The one downside to this is that you can't turn it inside out.
Gotcha.
Big wooden box.
And you said there's, like, little things that I can twist and change the box?
It's got, like, so it actually is slatted, just like a like a box would be for lunches. where pieces of it do feel loose, like you could click them into place to open the central mouth of it. They kind of unfold like a flower a little bit.
Okay, I'll think of the deed to this casino, and then I'll reach my hand in.
All right. You think of the deed to casino. You feel a cold, almost freezing feeling as you reach your hand below the depths of the box. Your arm disappears within it, and yet you still remain standing. You eventually feel something fly into your hand, very heavy something. You pull your hand back and you look, and all of you can see this. Morgan's arm is coated in bits of frost. There is ice that slowly covers all the way up from her elbow down, and her fingers are numb at this point. However, clutched in her hand is a bindle, a kind of like a complete bit of twine holding together a massive stack of documents. As you flip to the front of it and slowly pop your fingers free of this, you kind of shake, and now it's already, the ice is slowly melting across your arm. You pull and look, and you can see there is a stack as you kind of wipe the frost from the front of the documents themselves. The very first one lists the city square of Grim Village, and then it lists the acreage that is considered to that. It seems as if this is a stack of every deed in town.
I will set this down on the desk, and well, there you all have it. I believe it's almost everything we need to figure out what to do with Grim Village. Now we just have to decide.
That we do.
And with that, we'll see you guys next time on Second Wake. I think that's a pretty good way to stop. Lots to think about, lots more to identify or look over, long rests to be had, and most likely, a lot of downtime. So what we'll be doing for this, just so we're aware for the players, because we might not be playing on the 4th, because, again, it's the freaking 4th. Who's gonna, like, what are we doing? We are going to do a lot of downtime, and we'll have open downtime with the server stuff. If you guys want to share some of the things you begin to find within the offices and things of that nature, be my guest. If you hit a story flag, something that I will want to showcase or make sure people know who are following along at home for the story beyond just loot and stuff, we'll obviously stop there and I'll put a flag up and we'll talk about it when we next meet for session. But otherwise, I think that's a pretty good way to stop it. Lots of things to think about, lots of things to observe or review. As always, guys, I've been Kareem Zamir. They've been the Seekers of Galanti. This has been Second Wake. We'll see you next time. Peace out.